Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. When I say I promise you, I'm gonna knock out the Gypsy King as well.
ThaBoxingvoice Productions.
How am I gonna let this little skinny spaghetti hit my face?
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Numbers don't lie, and I'm that guy. And I'm the guy with the business.
When I stepped on the scene, I said I wanted this road. I said I wanted that road.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
So I'm still on the mission.
I'm gonna chase his ass all the way up there.
I told him it's an easy break, baby.
Some of them like it, some of them don't. ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Today is Flagship Sunday. There's a lot of crow to eat. We'll see who's gotta, serve up their slice. I know that Mike has the list, so he knows who's right and who's wrong. No sense in hiding. No more dodging, no more hiding, no more jiving. We know who got to eat that crow. First and foremost on the docket is Keith One-Time Thurman and the Fox PBC, also Fox Sports 1. We'll do prelims and main event card, as well as the Jaime Munguia DAZN card, and then we'll talk Dillian White and his proposed, alleged announcement, and then Eddie Hearn coming to town, Philadelphia, Tuesday. Me and Ron, two pit bulls. We attacking. Those are our topics. If you're interested, hit that thumbs up. If you're not, hit that thumbs down. You want to call in and give us your opinion on these topics? Call in at 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. You could also add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. Let's get on out to our co-hosts that hail from across the globe.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Windows down, 2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss, 2 to stand over.
Turn up.
Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
And I'm in.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yo, what's going on? Happy Sunday to everybody out there in TBV land. Man, we had an exciting weekend of boxing, man. Keith Thurman was in a very tough fight, maybe tougher than we thought coming into the fight. Also, Adam Kownacki got the very impressive knockout over George Washington. I'm gonna call a nigga George Washington. But the way he fought, yeah, he should be George Washington, should be over there for him, man. The guy didn't really like he wanted to be in the ring, and Kownacki exposed him. Also, Jaime Munguia, man, the guy showed me some levels on the zone last night, so excited to see where he goes. But the Andrade, he might be going up the wrong tree. But we'll get to some more co-hosts and get to it.
It's me, Mario.
What is up? What is up, TBV? Just got back from Houston a little bit ago, was in the building for Jaime Munguia. A lot to talk about, a lot to break down for that fight. I got some reporting to do, definitely some scuttlebutt, some stuff we didn't get on video, couldn't get on video really, and just some of the talk. And so I can definitely report that for y'all, give y'all some of the scuttlebutt from around media side. And then Thurman, got to see that fight last night. Got to see Adam Kownacki fight. Didn't really get to see anything else other than Ron's boy, drawing a blank on his name, fought on the undercard. And so, yeah, definitely we're going to break all that down, talk some Eddie Hearn. Definitely rooting for the boys here to go and corner him and get what we can. Hopefully get him on the show maybe, see what we can definitely do. But I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back on the show. I missed Border Wars earlier today. Upset about that because I have already started preparing my diet to get my weight right, to get myself in the best possible physical condition. And I am proud to announce that with my manager on air right now, that we will officially be making a fight announcement this week. From sometime in the next 7 days, we will have a opponent knocked down, locked in. Is it going to be Anthony? Is it going to be Joseph's brother? Drawing a blank on his name. I think it's Matt.
Duck, bro. He ain't signed up.
Listen, they got to sign up because that's that number one. You ain't getting no fight unless you sign up. Y'all lost y'all's pin? Y'all lost y'all's pin because I can find it for y'all. In fact, I can send you one. Look. I got one right here. So I can send it to y'all. Just let me know. We're here.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I've been doing this. I ain't been up and fell off. I've been through the Lennox Lewis era, the Nassim Hamed era, the Sugar Shane Moses era, the Oscar De La Hoya era, Mark Antonio era. I've been through all the eras, and I still been telling. I'm gonna talk. You do too much talk. The thing is this:
people want their subjective preference to be the objective reality.
HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yo, what's going on? It feels good to be back on Sunday. Flagship. So much stuff has happened this weekend. Sure enough, the biggest probably is Keith Thurman. His performance. Do you like it? Is it acceptable? Is it a layoff? You know, so many narratives all over the place. Now, with that being said, I was at the fight, so I have some insight perspectives. In addition, during the show, I will be dropping pieces of my Jarell Big Baby Miller's one-on-one about stuff that we talked about, a little bit about Eddie Hearn, a little bit of Anthony Joshua, a little bit of Dillian White, a little bit of Usyk, HBO, Showtime, Steven Espinoza. So if you're definitely tuning in, definitely stick around. We have a whole bunch of videos from me, Mario. Can 2 was out to the fight. So we're going to have a whole bunch of videos going up and down over the channel. But like I said, I'll be dropping some of this during the show. Outside of that, I glimpsed through the DAZN card. I skimmed through it because I wasn't able to fully watch it 100%, but I had my own perspective of Jaime Munguia. I thought that we got to see a different version, maybe a boxing version of Jaime Munguia in that fight. So in addition to that, we'll start the show, get through all the fights and topics, and discuss from there.
Let's get into it, man. Great weekend of boxing. And I'll add, you know, I didn't see the whole DAZN card either, you know. All I really knew was Jaime Munguia, and because the way PBC had it, you know, with prelims and main events and co-mains, it was very tough. You know, it seemed like it ended right on time with Keith to give us just 1 or 2 minutes to get prepared for Jaime Munguia. So I don't know who was on the undercard. I heard Virgil Ortiz did well, so I will go back and watch it. That is the plus of DAZN. It's on demand, and you can watch it at your own time. But let's get into the main event. Keith one-time Thurman returns and suffers a bit of adversity. He got caught with a big left hook that started what became or what is going to become a memorable round in boxing. I'm sure it will be an arguing point for many from tomorrow moving forward, from yesterday moving forward. That left hook, you know, the fact that he was hurt in that round, I'm sure that'll be the talk at the water coolers, the debates in the forums. And I'll just, before I even give my opinion, I want to see where my co-hosts lie with it, you know, see where the public fell in this one, and how they interpreted this performance. So
I mean, where should we start? What did we learn last night from Keith Thurman? I'm gonna be a realist about the situation, like I'm always am. The guy was off 2 years. The guy had a lot of ring rust. The guy came back and put on a performance that up until the 7th round he was dominant in. He was tagging Josecito. Josecito was coming forward like the punches were hurting, but they still was scoring punches. But 7th round happened, and Keith showed me that it's going to take a lot for a motherfucker to get him out of there. It's going to take a whole lot, a lot of great punch selection. A guy who has a lot of snap, because Josecito caught him more than once in that round, and Keith's eyes went like they went glazed. And hats off to him because he showed the heart of a real champion, man, and sat there in battle and came back strong. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about Keith, man. He was off 2 years, a lot of ring rust, back in the ring against a credible opponent who was training hard for this fight. So it is what it is, man. I think he had a okay performance, and I think if you're looking at that performance, trying to draw some kind of conclusions from it, you can, but still been off for almost 2 years, 24 months. That's a long time.
Yeah, I want to go off that. Obviously, we know that wasn't Keith's best performance. Keith went on record during the press conference and said, I told you guys you weren't going to see the best Keith Thurman. Now, at that point, we have to come down and break down how many fighters have came back from 2-year layoffs and been extremely successful. Sugar Ray Leonard first came back, tried to do his attempt, and he actually didn't look good. He actually went back and retired again before he made another attempt, and that was against Marvin Hagler, my bad. Felix Trinidad, when he came back, the irony, Winky Wright was actually at the fight. When he came back, he had a fight, and then he went into Winky Wright and lost. And so at that point, ring rust is definitely a big thing. Paulie Malignaggi talked about it there too when he tried to fight Danny Garcia, even though Danny was the favorite. It's just something really hard to just get back into the groove. We did see the glimpse of a one time in the beginning, but then we saw all the stuff that a person who hasn't been in the ring getting punched constantly, a durable guy in his face constantly. So I thought he wore that very well in the fight. And of course, Tyson Fury is the primest example. He came back, had these 2 weird tune-ups, and we were like, Tyson Fury, he's not going to be this great guy against Deontay Wilder. Some people probably speculated because Deontay Wilder started, but we just didn't think Tyson Fury was going to put on a performance like he did. And that could be the case that Keith Thurman either becomes a person who gets his ass kicked in the future or puts on a performance like Tyson Fury did against Deontay Wilder.
Listen, I'm going to put it to you like this, okay? I thought Thurman looked great. Sitting at ringside during the Munguia fight, I didn't have access to the Thurman fight, but I had read some stuff on our post-production chat filled with, guys that Patreons, and saw some stuff on Twitter, okay? I was made to believe that Thurman looked like garbage. I mean, the way that people were talking, it seemed like they were so excited to upplay his lack of a performance, right? Then I go and watch the fight, and there's nothing further from the truth. Look, he looked fast. He looked strong. He looked sharp. He looked amazing at times. He really did. Early on, I thought we were seeing the best version of Thurman coming off of that long a layoff. I'm not saying the best version of Thurman ever, and I'm not saying the best possible version of Thurman. I'm saying, given into account everything, taking all that into account, he looked as good as you could imagine. He got in trouble. He got caught, okay? Once he got caught, he really didn't know where to go. He didn't handle himself very well. It was a beautiful right hand. Everybody was talking about the left that caught Thurman, but I thought the left put him in a good position for Lopez to hit him with that right. But the one thing I will say, the criticism that I have for him is, while I thought his boxing was fairly sharp, I thought that his athletic ability looked like it had ring rust in co-injunction. No, that's not it. Like coincided with his boxing talent. So there are a lot of guys that are, yes, co-junction. Thank you. There are guys that are boxers. There are guys that are better athletes. Thurman is a guy who enhances his boxing with his athleticism. I felt like last night his athleticism had more ring rust than anything else in conjunction with his boxing. So I thought it was a good performance. I don't think there's any reason to be down on it. I feel like, that said, the one thing I will say also going along with that is, how much can he get back? How good can we see him bring back those athletic abilities and tie them into his boxing? Because that's the one thing that happens with guys like that who are incredibly talented, both athletically and boxing, is that a lot of times you get older, you get hurt, and those things start to separate. You're not able to move the way that you want to. Your brain, it detaches from it.
Now, real quick, I just wanted to throw this in because I know immediately people are going to go, Floyd Mayweather. Now, let me give you a little bit about Floyd Mayweather. And I love Floyd Mayweather. We got to be realistic. Floyd Mayweather came back, and many people are going to go, well, Floyd Mayweather is Floyd Mayweather, and there's always exceptions of the rules. But you also have to look at the opposition he faced when he came back. His retirement came back to a smaller Marquez, moving up in weight, and he essentially even came in heavier than the weight. And then the other time he came out was against a Conor McGregor. Ali was another guy where this could be a story that Keith Thurman can go down. Ali came back, faced somebody, I believe in Atlanta, had a great performance, but then lost to Joe Frazier when he tried to attempt to get his title back after his long out of the ring rust, when he had this situation where he didn't want to join the war for his religion reasons. But then later down the line, guess what happened? After losing to Joe Frazier, he eventually came back around and defeated the man and defeated him, which was George Foreman, which many people didn't think he could do. And Ali's a very athletic individual, boxes very well, and styles make fights. So we're in that era where obviously we're getting a lot of talented guys when one guy's coming from a ring rust to maybe either an ass beating, like I said before, or one of the best comebacks in the welterweight divisions.
And
Listen,
if you're looking at this fight and you're trying to throw Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford or Sean Porter into the equation, it's kind of too early, man. Keith just came back, man, and I think as he gets more time in the ring, the better he will look against opposition. So I don't think we've seen the peak or top Keith Thurman, and we won't see that until he faces one of those guys.
Listen, for the casual fans listening, I just want to remind y'all that Keith Thurman came in last night, won off of a 22-month layoff. Okay, it was 2 injuries that kept him out. Okay, this was his 5th retention of his 147-pound titles, the titles which he unified against Danny Garcia at the Barclays Center in March 2017. After that fight, he had hurt his right elbow, which he had a surgery on. And then once that elbow healed up and he was starting to come back and work his way back to fighting, he suffered a deep bone bruise on his left hand that extended his layoff. So that is just kind of the breakdown of what Thurman was, where he was headed into last night. He did score a knockdown in the fight. I believe it was in the second round. Was it?
Yeah, it was like
second round. And so I had the scorecards and I think I deleted them on accident, but they were, Ron, do you have that with you?
113, 113, 115, 111, and 117, 110, I believe.
So the scorecards were all over the place. I just kind of want to get your opinions on that. Did you guys feel it was a draw? Did you feel it was a clear, competitive, one-sided kind of fight where Thurman won on the cards, but he was in a life and death situation when it came to the later rounds?
Honestly, I like I told Nes last night, man, I got the same feel when I seen Jeff Horn and Manny Pacquiao. I thought Manny Pacquiao won the fight when it happened, but just the way Jeff Horn was pushing the pace and was just relentless, I thought Josecito was kind of in that vein last night. So
he outperformed the scorecards, maybe.
Exactly. Like it wasn't the sense of he was like, he did win some rounds, but he wasn't overly, you know what I'm saying, like dominant or just like his pressure and like his fighting style made it a more competitive fight to the casual fan, not to the hardcore fan, because the hardcore fan was seeing Keith picking his ass off, hitting him with shots. And like I said, up to that 7th round, I mean, Keith was looking like shit one time.
Looking beautiful. Nes, what did you think of the fight overall?
Well, I knew something was wrong. During the live fight chat, I kept saying that Keith was landing too many flush shots and nothing was really happening. So you mentioned 2 surgeries and neither one was the shoulder. It's going to take a reporter.
He said during the press conference that shoulder surgery happened 5 years ago. So that wasn't a thing in a fight, because a reporter asked him about it. He's like, I don't know why people keep asking me about a shoulder. I had a shoulder surgery 5 years ago. What happened was my elbow and my right hand, like Mario said.
That is so funny, because I'm sure the reporter felt exactly like me with that fresh scar on his back, all nice and cherry red above his shoulder. And I'm like, whoa, I don't remember that. Now, I've been in the camp. Why would I say I don't remember that? But the dude does wear shirts. It ain't like he always taking his shirt off. He always wears shirts in camp. But I don't know. I just don't remember it. But look, you know what I'm saying? And I damn sure don't remember it looking that bright. It was red. But that being said, I didn't think he had the same power, because Josecito was nothing was stopping that dude from coming forward. Keith with all type of combinations, uppercuts. He was mixing in the left hook, which is the punch that dropped him. right hands and up. I mean, combinations, punches to the body, right hands to the body. And Josecito kept coming on forward, just kept marching forward. No matter how many punches landed, he just kept coming forward. So I don't know if it's Josecito's determination, his will, his drive to want to be champion. Is it Thurman's not 100%? It's going to take more than one fight. And this is exactly why you don't get into anything crazy when you're coming off an injury, because you need to assess yourself. We need to assess him. We don't know. We really don't know. I mean, did Josecito fight the night of his life, or was Thurman faded? No one. I mean, Josecito was a plus 4,200 by decision by the time this fight started. So again, you know, did Josecito fight the night of his life, or was Thurman showing us why he took 2 years off?
Maybe a little bit both, but right now we got a super chat from Ronald Finkley. I watched Keith get semi-retired last night. That's kind of harsh.
I mean, look, there were some serious shots.
It was, but
I mean, I kept yelling, "Why is he got his hands down?
Why is not holding like?" But
why did
to his credit though, bro?
He looked lost. He looked lost.
Yeah, but to his credit, like the fucking guy showed a fucking beard. Like, man, like he was getting fucking hit, bro.
Oh, yeah. Keith showed a beard. Keith always shows that he's got the heart of a champion. He did it in the Collazo fight, but in the Collazo fight, it was to the body. This time, he got hit to the head, and he didn't lift his hands up, bro.
I don't understand
a bigger puncher puts him down.
Did you see his eyes, bro?
Yeah, he was knocked out.
That's what I'm saying. You got to give that some kind of credit, my nigga. Like that right there showed me, man. Say what you want to. Them right there showed me that boy got some damn balls on him. His eyes were gone.
There's another super chat in there from Andre. He said, did anyone at the post conference ask about his right hand? He was struggling to open the water bottle in Ron's video. Oh, so actually, I didn't get it on camera, but someone did run up and ask him about his hand. I think originally his hand was actually hurt afterwards towards the fight. And he did struggle a little bit open up from that water bottle of his. So I think he did have an injury on his hands during the fight. I have to do a little bit more research, but someone did run up and ask him. I think there's a video out there, but you know, it's probably
you could definitely count on him only fighting one more time this year, if that. If he got an injury in the hand again,
it just seemed like, you know, he just in that fight, you can tell he was a world champion. You can tell he had skills. I mean, his collision punching that he does, and actually, I think he talked about it in some of your videos when you went down in camp. You know, a collision punch is pretty much, you know, you're making a person walk into the punch. So Josecito's walking in one direction, Thurman's running away allegedly, and then he swings like a baseball bat and like crashes into that person. So you can see he's so smart in the fight, but at that point, you're just starting to kind of see, you know, his body may not be able to go with his IQ in that fight. You know,
that's exactly the point I was trying to make. Is
taking 2 years off and hitting somebody in the score. I mean, his hand's going to be kind of
definitely.
And then I think the biggest thing we saw in that fight, which, you know, we've always went to the Collazo body shot, and then went to all these times where the hematoma on the head and all these things. Thurman's always in these type of hard fights, but he's shown every time that he can take a damn punch, that he can take an ass beating, and he can take.
And I hear you guys, bro, but he's taking these shots that he's showing us he can take by the lower tier of the welterweight division. You know, when you take a body shot by Collazo and you react that way, we're salivating at the thought of you taking that Earl Spence body shot.
Well, that's
the left hook by Josecito and your eyes look like that. Yeah, the haters are thinking, what is it gonna look like when Crawford hits him in the face? I mean, this is what fight fans do. This is what we do. Like, whatever you guys want to sit there all high-righty,
it's hard.
That's not what you're really thinking. Okay,
it's definitely hard not to agree with you, because the simple fact is, when you look at this division, Errol Spence looks tremendous. Crawford, regardless of the resume, passing the eye test over and over and over. Sean Porter, many people thought beat Keith Thurman, and then he's shown improvement in his fighting. He's very active, and there's no way that he's not a better fighter from when he fought Keith the first time to now. So at this point, yes, you have to go Keith Thurman would struggle with every single one. Even Manny Pacquiao,
yeah,
because you can argue and say Manny Pacquiao could be the super, even though he doesn't have the belt, and Keith Thurman could be the regular champion.
Well, here's
really quick. I got a super chat.
Go ahead.
Is the truth. Super chat from Jack is the truth, who says, "Yo, Mario, Keith was the one with the braids."
That's funny. Listen. I'm not going to. I need to clarify my statement here, because I hear what Ness is saying now, and he's making sense. I think the problem is that everything I said needed to be preluded with the fact that I never thought Thurman was the best welterweight. I always thought he was somewhat of a flawed fighter, and not that he doesn't have a talent, but he does make mistakes. So I saw the version of Thurman that was as good as could be expected with that layoff, but I also don't think that there is a version of Thurman that is better than Crawford. I don't think that there's a version of Thurman that is better than Earl Spence. I'm not sure that there's a version of Thurman that is better than Pacquiao right now, but I certainly don't think that there's ever been a version of Thurman, or ever will be a version of Thurman, that will be better than Pacquiao in Pacquiao's prime. So like, Thurman fits into the welterweight vision in a very weird kind of spot where he had I wouldn't say a stranglehold over the division, but at some point he was the clear number one, or at least close to the clear number one when Floyd Mayweather left. Okay. But I always thought he was biding his time. Always. I thought Crawford would get there. I thought Earl Spence would get there. I always thought these guys would get there. I even think Amir Khan gives him trouble. Okay. So for all of these things to be said about him, they need to be put into perspective. That's the biggest thing, is Thurman isn't as disappointing to someone who was already never the most impressed with him. But I felt like he did a lot of great things last night. I feel like he came back and showed a grit and a determination, or I'd say like a strength that we maybe had seen from him before, but under the circumstances was a little bit better.
I can't agree with you though at the same time. Because the thing is, when you say all that, the flip side is, who has allegedly the best resume at 147? Who took Danny Garcia's who defended his title against Sean Porter in a neck-and-neck fight, which some people still figure Sean Porter won? It's still very understandable that Keith Thurman won, and there's no debate that he won. And so at that point, he showed levels, but at that time, we wanted Floyd Mayweather. We wanted certain fighters. And at this point, we are now curious where he goes, which makes the most financial sense, and gets him back into better fighting contention.
Well, we know where he's going, Ron. You heard him. You were there.
But look, though, man,
if Floyd is not ready to give Manny a shot, well, it's probably going to be Thurman and Manny.
I hope he isn't ready, because I would love to see Thurman Pacquiao.
And I just don't want the people and us to overlook all the different variables and components that were coming into this fight. The guy been off 2 years, and they say he got caught with a body shot by Collazo. Man, people get caught. Shane Mosley caught motherfucking a Mayweather. McDonald caught Mayweather. Doesn't mean that the guy's gonna not be who he was. I mean, people get caught in fights. It's a fight, you know what I'm saying? It's a boxing match. You go 36 minutes, 12 rounds. You're going to get caught sooner or later. But he showed the heart of a champion, man. He came out, and I don't expect to see him be this bad in his next fight. I expect to see more of the ring rust come off and him look like the Keith Thurman of old.
In one of Ron's videos,
he can be active, bro, because now with an injury, a possible injury, then he can't be back in 3 months. And, the tune-up doesn't even really do anything anymore.
It would like he might need another one.
Because now you need another tune-up for this new injury. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends if there is no injury.
But I will say this, though, because in Ron's video, he had talked about how the one thing he was going to take away from this fight was that he needs to, when he's in war, he needs to take more risks. See, I felt like it's not that he needs to take more risks. I mean, maybe yes, maybe no, but he needs to figure out what to do. He looked lost at certain points when he was struggling. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't know exactly where to go. He didn't have a game plan per se. And I think that really hurt him to gain back momentum. The fight's all about momentum. You know what I mean? So you look at a guy like Floyd Mayweather, right? And when his body was unable to do what he wanted to do in his later fights, he changed the game plan. He changed his strategy. Okay. I'm not a big fan of Floyd Mayweather, and never have been, but I think he's probably one of the greatest fighters of all time, maybe the greatest, definitely in this generation for sure. I'll give him all those accolades while still not appreciating the individual. That said, he is the Jay-Z of boxing. That's what people need to understand. There are rappers in the game who were the greatest rappers at their time, and then once rap, changed, people couldn't hang. They couldn't make the type of music that new generation was vibing with. Jay-Z got better with age, and Floyd Mayweather is the Jay-Z of boxing. As the game progressed and he couldn't do certain things, he changed his game and maybe changed the game of boxing to a certain degree. And Jay-Z did the same thing. He changed the game of rap forever. And so Floyd Mayweather is such a freak of nature that he should never be put into the comparisons with certain guys.
We're going
to this point,
analogies to.
I was going to say, because Tim Smith told you, either a retired or not retired, Floyd Mayweather is still the biggest name in the sport of boxing. He can't go nowhere without people noticing him.
Yes, sir.
All right. I mean, I'm just saying, if we're going to be saying that this fighter is that rapper, then we all know Keith is Drake.
Oh, why do you say that? Because he the new young guy in the game.
And he's just he's the new young guy who took over. Like after after Hova, it was Drake. You know,
he definitely took over. But listen, he definitely took over. But I don't know how long he's gonna have that chokehold on the game. I really don't.
Canelo's like Ricky Martin. He don't count in hip hop.
Well, look, let's keep it real. Okay, so Sean Porter's fighting Ugas. Errol Spence is fighting Mikey Garcia. Now, Manny Pacquiao, many people also felt had a flat performance, even though against it was Adrian Broner. They expected more. No, hold on, let me finish because I haven't went down.
I got you.
The fact is, at this point, Keith Thurman's probably safest fight would probably be Manny Pacquiao, which would be kind of in between more of like a tune-up, step-up tune-up that can prep him better for the Errol Spence and the other fights. Now, granted, he also feels that this is also the biggest money opportunity, which could also put him in the biggest A side, get a more, he could step up in competition, become the A side, get a household name underneath his belt, get the casuals behind him, and at that point, he'll be more in control. This is more of a business move and getting more into this fighting groove in preparation for what would be a big showdown and unification.
No, I think they can convince Pacquiao to take this fight because if he beats Thurman, it's a clear-cut opportunity at Floyd. Like now the writers are writing saying, oh, wow, the Manny of old is back. He beat the young, undefeated, Keith Thurman. That's a different story. So, yeah, so now it puts the pressure on Floyd. Like, does Floyd still have what it takes? Would he be able to come back and beat Earl the way that Manny came back and beat Thurman? It'll go down.
If you're Manny after last night, man, you try to get that Keith Thurman fight as soon as possible. You put the pressure on him, man. Like,
yeah, that's a great point.
I take that fight right now.
If you're Manny, is that the best available thing, not name?
No, I think Floyd for him is still the top thing because of the money.
Not name. I mean, if Mikey Garcia wins, then yeah, but if Mikey Garcia loses, I don't think you put Mikey Garcia back in a tough fight that quick.
All right, but if you're Pacquiao, you got Senate duties. You heard my interview with Tim Smith. They're not rushing. Pacquiao normally fights in November. Do you really want Thurman?
I rush it, man.
I think Thurman is better for him than fighting a Spence or a Crawford or some of these other guys.
I still say Danny Garcia.
That's a good one. That is a very good one. That draws names.
You're gonna risk getting knocked the fuck out fucking with Danny.
No, I think Thurman, you risk more. I do. I think
based off his last performance, though. If you're Manny Pacquiao and you see Josito having the success that he's having, and you're like, man, I know in my heart of hearts, and the people know, I'm
like 6 feet tall with an 83 and 3.
I understand that.
Pacquiao midget compared to Josito.
I understand
exactly.
I still think Manny's a better all-around fighter than Josito is. So if you see Thurman and there may be some enticement to try to push for that fight. That's all I'm saying.
I just think that Danny for all of the greatness Danny's been able to accomplish, his best attribute has been the ability to win. Like, this guy has been flawed. This guy has had attributes against opponents where he was not the best either faster or stronger than who he was in the ring against, but he found ways to win. Manny Pacquiao is better than Danny Garcia, and I think he'd find many ways to beat him and dominate him in that fight. Yes, Danny has some pop, but this is 147, not 140. I think Manny carries the bigger pop than him, maybe heading into a fight like that. It's debatable, but I think Thurman can match Manny in so many of the ways that Manny's able to be better than you in the ring, you know, using footwork and agility, combination with speed and technique. All of those. And he's a weird kind of guy. I don't think Danny's going to do good with that.
Who you say, goddamn me, Thurman was again, like in the rap game, Jay-Z?
Drake.
He
said Drake.
Why are we doing this rap thing? Look, let's
Drake.
go.
Why you want Crawford to be meat?
No, it's inside joke.
Look. So here's the thing: Manny and Thurman, are they looking at each other like kind of like cherries? Like, you didn't have a good performance. Well, you didn't have a good performance.
No way. Listen, let me play the audio because it's like Thurman said. Manny ain't gonna be around for long. So whoever got the opportunity got to jump on it, and Thurman got that opportunity. Crawford could be mad. He was trying to get it. He didn't get it.
You talking about the nigga that was hiding this damn kid from the world, but the world was hiding the kid?
At the end of the day, I would probably take either one of those. I mean, we can only take one fight at a time. Manny Pacquiao is not going to be here for the years to come, and Sean Porter and Ugas, especially Ugas. Let's say Ugas wins. Allowing him to have a title defense before fighting the obvious mandated champion Keith Thurman to get my WBC title back. That's not the end of the world. Just fighting a legend. I just feel like the clock is ticking. Mayweather's out of the game, and if I had such an opportunity, it might prioritize fighting some of the younger fighters in the sport of boxing today.
We would love that fight. It'd be a boxer puncher type of fight. It'd be an exciting fight, and I think the fans would love it.
They're both.
There you go. Fighter and fighter. Happy with that fight.
If you're Floyd, though, I honestly think. I'll premise it by saying this: if you're Floyd and you are definitely going to fight in boxing one more time, at least, you got to jump on that Pacquiao fight, because the worst thing in the world that could happen is Pacquiao comes in, fights Thurman wins, and then you're put into a position as your Floyd, which he'll do what he's going to do, so it's not that big of a deal. But you don't want to be put in a position where you're going to try to convince the world that you're going to fight Manny Pacquiao after he loses to Keith Thurman. And then B, you're in a position where now casual fans are saying, well, why don't you fight Thurman? He beat Pacquiao. You were going to fight Pacquiao. And that's the worst thing that I think it could happen to Floyd.
If you Floyd Mayweather, man, you ain't looking at Thurman. He doesn't represent that mega fight for you, man. We know Floyd ain't coming
until he do good numbers with Pacquiao.
Exactly. Unless he goes in there and does something with Pacquiao. If he does business, then I think Thurman jumps in there.
The days that he was waiting for, bro. I told you. I remember many years ago. I said he's the next Floyd. He here to take over, man. Listen, you can laugh all you want. Even Floyd had, rough fights, but Floyd never lost more than 7 rounds. I mean, he never.
And that's what he said last night.
Exactly. And Keith do the same thing. He makes sure he get his 7. So, listen, like you said, Shane punched Floyd in the face. Big deal. People can make Instagram videos all day. That's half a second of a fucking round. You know what I'm saying?
What they fucking do. Exactly.
So, Keith is 28-0. And at 28-0, that man's resume is bananas. Okay? Bananas. Unification under the belt and a lot of names. C, B, and A level names there. So I think we should move on, though.
Ron, what do you say when you asked him about a potential Terrence Crawford fight?
Oh, okay. So, at the press conference, I was the one that asked him about
Ron.
Crawford and Khan, where they've played into the whole situation. And look,
the
reason why I asked this question is because we already know where he's going to go. He's going to stay on the PBC side. And he says, look, Crawford, Khan, they're still going to be there because that belt's always going to be there. The WBC, I have an automatic way to get to the WBC at any time. And Ugas might even want to do a voluntary after that. I have the WBA. And Spence, well, I think Spence is the big money showdown and probably where he wants to come through all at the end on the PBC side. Because at the open media, Nes asked him about Errol Spence, and he says, when I fight Errol Spence, it's not for 1, not for 2, but for 3. Well, what else? He's going to fight Sean Porter, get the 2nd belt, want to be unified, and go after for a 3rd belt. So it's very obvious that at this point, he wants the Manny Pacquiao fight. He feels.
Did you ask him if Top Rank made a offer to him the next fight, he would consider it, or would he not?
No, well, look, he wants Manny. Look, it's obvious. Look, I know you love Crawford. I asked Bob.
I just want, you know what I'm saying, the best to fight the best.
Look, it's obvious what he wants to do. He wants, look, Manny Pacquiao, biggest money. Sean Porter, he can go back and get his belt. Errol Spence, he can make that fight, maybe pay-per-view, big thing. He can freeze Crawford out. Everyone's on PBC. There's 4 belts. That over there is not even a priority to him. And I just had to ask him that question because no one asked him about Crawford. But it's just obvious. He speaks to Manny Pacquiao more than Sean Porter at this press conference. He wants Manny. If not Manny, he's looking at Sean Porter or Ugas. And after that, that's it.
I heard this Crawford's next opponent.
This nigga right here. I mean green. That's what I mean green.
You heard of him before?
Hey, look here, man. Hey, we're just trying to get the best.
That ain't Mean Machine. This is another one.
It's the African guy.
This is the one that they said there's a rumor Crawford gonna unify with this guy.
With the IBO champion.
But if you're Crawford, though, you're not sitting in that bad a position. You got all of PBC kind of knocking each other off. And at some point, Crawford's going to be sitting there, right? And the world's going to be saying, hey, all these guys, PBC guys, fought each other, knocked each other off, and there's only 2 people left at the table.
Hopefully we get Danny next.
No, Mike, you don't got to hope for that. I'm
going to fight all them Europeans that Bob keeps talking about in my videos.
Go ahead, Nes. Let
me tell you, history always repeats itself, Mike, and it's all right. Crawford's going to come out of this situation really good. I'm going to tell you how this happened before. A couple years ago, once upon a time, there was a Super 6 tournament. All the super middleweights joined it. Carl Froch, motherfucking Jermaine Taylor.
Great point, Nes.
Andre Ward, Andre Durrell, Alex Green. They even had alternates, bro. And one dude stood on the outside like, man, fuck all that.
Who was it?
All that, Jack. I'm a motherfucking show without you dudes. I'm going to go back to Canada and fight tomato cans and knock them over and keep looking just as good as y'all. While y'all fight each other and the world going to beg for me to fight y'all. And that's what's going to happen.
That's exactly what happened. The Super 6 wrapped up. These guys went through war. They went through hell. Andre Ward prevailed, but the world was saying, no, you need Butte. You need Butte. What was that?
It was the mistake. It was the one mistake. Andre fucking Ward with his nose always so high. I don't need Butte. He didn't join the Super 6. He needs me. All right. He ain't want to negotiate. Carl Froch steps in, knocks Butte into another strategy. Now all of a sudden, Andre Ward.
I like Carl Froch, man. Carl Froch a dog, bro.
You're absolutely right.
Andre Ward want to fight Carl Froch. Now he want to come to the UK, and it's like, bruh, because you always want to do shit your way. Nah, I don't got to do what the public says I got to do. All right, bro. That's why, 2 more years, we gonna forget about him. We only gonna know him as a manager to Shakur Stevens, man. Unfortunately.
Damn, Nes.
Chill, Nes.
Thank you, Ron. As a manager?
Bro, his legacy is Sergey Kovalev. Kovalev's about to be a motherfucking journeyman, B.
His legacy is being unified and 2 divisions. Olympic medalist, man. I mean,
won the
Super Series tournament, but he got some accolades on the shit.
But to be fair, to flip it on the other side, because I know what Andre Ward has acclaimed. Well, if you type in top 10 most boring fighters, unfortunately, Andre Ward.
That's a motherfucking narrative, Ron.
No. I'm being honest. Google it.
He got a style.
Am I wrong?
Everybody got a style.
Mike, if you Google, I'm not saying an opinion. I'm saying if you Google.
You gotta understand, man, this is entertainment.
I know it's entertainment, bro.
Entertainment television. Like, you are meant to entertain. You can't just be good. That's why Floyd had more, like, Floyd knew I ain't gonna entertain these dudes in the ring.
That's why I gotta go
outside the ring. I gotta be controversial, and I gotta sell a lifestyle that they gonna want. what they can't have. The expensive $4 million car, the lavish fucking house, the jewelry, the women, that you can't have that, so you got to live it vicariously through me. So you're going to hate me for having it, hate me for motherfucking talking, but Ward didn't have that. Ward, you know how many times I interview Ward and Virgil? Bro, all they would say is, we don't have to act.
What's your highest rated interview of all time on this channel, though?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you don't know now. You
That was
told
a
me what it
long
was.
pause.
Listen, that wasn't even
lying
Ron's,
or not knowing.
that wasn't even Ron's opinion. That was a fact. Like that was the knock on
Just a
Andre
fact too, though,
Ward.
Mario.
When you Google it, you said, so that's my whole point. Look, at the end of the day, I respect Andre Ward. I think Andre Ward is a tremendous boxer.
The Andre Ward president fan club hit me. He was like, yo, get the fuck out of here with your hate. Ward is a retired, undefeated, multi-divisional champ. He beat multi-boogeymen, won a gold medal.
That's a fact.
Dude's a king.
Man, big Carl Fudge, baby.
That's a fact.
Look
Listen,
here, man,
Andre
look here,
Ward
and
he
your
deserves
best
great
interview got a million views.
He dug Joshua.
Pay homage though. Pay homage though.
Yo,
He got a million views on your channel.
Max said, yo, you want the Joshua fight? He said, yeah. Eddie was going to make it, and Ward like, nah, I'm out.
And I'm going to keep it 100%. Did he win that first Kovalev fight? Did he win the first Kovalev fight?
He ran it back, though.
I mean, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying, like,
when you run it back, man, you race out there, right?
You can always spin whatever narratives you want. You know, at the end of the day, you Google top 10 most boring. He's in there. You look him up. He has gold Olympic medals. He beat all these guys. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
Come on, let's get on to the undercard, man. There's a lot of
Kownacki in motherfucking Washington, man, was quick, sweet, to the point. Knocked his ass out, got back up, and couple of jabs, right hand, and rough ways off.
Anybody eat crow? Anybody eating crow right now?
Give Mike that crow. Give Mike that
crow.
Yeah,
give me that crow, baby.
Like he's talking like
Turn me up, baby. Washington, baby. I pick Washington, baby. Turn me up.
Lopez.
I ain't pick Lopez, nigga.
On the show, you ain't pick Lopez?
Hell no, I ain't pick Lopez on the show. My shit say Thurman, but I do say Washington, though.
Yo, I said that though as a joke, like because you were
well. I mean, go ahead then. So like, well, I mean,
so he picked Washington.
I picked Washington. Hit the button.
Oh,
I picked Kownacki and I picked Thurman. But what I was saying is he picked Washington. Atta baby. Hey, he took it like a man, Mike. But I made the joke that he was picking Thurman because of Crawford. I mean, picking Lopez because of Crawford. So he didn't actually pick him.
I thought he did, man. I thought he did, bro.
No, I said that, and everybody ran with it. It was a joke, though.
I'll keep mine short. Kownacki looked better than what I expected. I called the knockout. I bet the knockout. Well, I actually picked the win on the show, but on the betting show, I definitely picked the knockout. And he did it sooner. I didn't expect. That was like second or first round. Like that was whoa. Like he landed so many consecutive right hands. He really, really impressed me. He told me that he was in better shape. He told me he had a 10-week camp, and word is born, even though his body didn't show it, his ring appearance, his ring performance showed it. I mean, it was so many right hands. I just couldn't believe it.
Well, it would have been interesting to see this fight into deeper waters, but that was absolutely not going to happen. You know, I picked Kownacki, but I honestly felt like Jarell Washington had a much better chance than this. He absolutely didn't. I think it's time for Jarell to start thinking about retirement.
Thank you. He came out and didn't want to fight.
Bro, listen, Adam's right hand did not miss, and when you're in that situation, that's really tough.
Is that Adam was the number 9 WBC. He was a hot up and coming. Like, yo, Washington still needs like an Areola fight, a Travis Kaufman fight, a Jason Brayman fight, you know, a motherfucking Joey Abel fight.
He's
like,
learning on the job. Like,
why don't these guys deserve that? Like, why the fuck is his comeback fight Kownacki?
Why is he taking
That's
him?
a good point.
Why is he taking him?
Maybe that's it. Maybe they telling him, hey, bro, I'm sorry. This is the only fight we got. And he's got to make a decision. Do I take this check?
And he's not Austin Trout. Like, he's not in a position where he might be able to deny fights. Like, if he denies this one, maybe he don't get into another one for a while. Maybe this is
Mario.
He is not Terrence Crawford.
I'm not saying he is.
That's what I meant to say too. Is like
he's not under contract, right?
think about this. Big Baby isn't under contract. Big Baby doesn't have a deal with the zone, and he's fight by fight. Motherfucking Mikey's fight by fight. There's plenty of people that's fight by fight. So
That's what I'm saying.
Fight is up to you to make that decision for you and your family.
You don't think Top Rank and the Zone want some heavyweights? If
Not
if
B-sides, not B-sides with two losses to the top.
all right, okay.
Listen, you lost to Wilder, and then you lost to an up-and-coming heavyweight who's
And Jarell Miller.
Listen, his biggest win is Washington. So for Bob Arum, that's he's no disrespect, but for Bob Arum, how is he different than Brian Jennings?
No different.
Yo, no, listen, I'll tell you how, though, or in this kind of way. Listen, if they're ever going to use a Gerald Washington, it's going to be a one fight to feed him to somebody. They don't want to sign him to a multi-fight deal for the sole purpose of feeding him.
And that's what I'm saying. But Mario, I'm already saying he's being fed already. Like, he needs to tell his people no more. Let me get a Jonathan Rice heavyweight. Let me get a Joey Abel. Like, I need
do it right.
I need Lopez. Look at the performance Lopez put up because he had 3 tune-ups. He had time to build with his trainer. Yo, Gerald Washington went into Adam Kownacki fight with one fight. He had one fight
under that.
With that trainer. One fight with that trainer. Nah, man, that's not. That's not the way shit done.
We've had trainers say that it takes 3 to 5 fights sometimes to gel, depending on how long you are.
10 years from now, when I sign my first fighter, he will not be getting. It ain't gonna happen like this.
We're gonna lose Ness to that.
We got a super chat though, real quick from Young Prophet one. Ward Boxford said he won all his fights.
Yeah, man, he did win all his fights.
Yeah, he did, and he also got a whole bunch of articles written about him on his question.
Man, hey, bro, one thing
he's got a shitload of articles about his punching and holding and his, grappling, and I mean, so much.
And I love Andre Ward, but let's just keep it real,
but that's how it is, Ron. Whenever they're gone, that is a cliche.
They get immortalized.
They're gonna love me when I'm gone. That's why Wilder says, "Love me now," because when he's gone, when Ward is gone, now all of a sudden, in retrospect, everything he did looks and sounds nice. But when we were watching him born ass fight, we wasn't happy.
True.
Yeah.
He was one of the greatest for sure.
But let's go back to the Adam thing. Let's go back to the Kownacki.
You always try to send out that little, "Yo, I'm still your friend." Ward. He was the greatest for sure.
But let's go with that Kownacki thing though. He went out and he talked about. I have a video of it. He's like, yo, I knocked out Spilka faster than Deontay. I knocked out Washington faster than Deontay. So what's your comments on that, guys?
Man, he ain't ready. That's my man.
He's not ready.
He ain't ready, though. He ain't ready.
Listen, I mean, I don't, that's never been that when people make those kind of arguments. Well, look, but when people make those kind of arguments, they always do it to kind of suit their narrative. Like, there are thousands of different ways that you can spin fighters with shared opponents, and it's just it never works. I mean, it rarely is an indicator to the fullest extent. So he can say what he wants. He's definitely not ready. He needs more fights. But at the same time, yeah, you're right, Ness. When are you ever ready?
I mean, look, I would rather be in the number 1 position and feel ready, or I would rather see him sitting in that number 1 position, and then I would feel okay, he's ready. You know what I'm saying? So it's like yesterday. I told Mike, I said, yo, he need to take out Lewis. He can't take out Lewis. He needs to take out Dillian White. Because he ain't gonna take out Jarell Miller. He did the interview next to Jarell Miller, but that's his lane. His lane is not AJ Wilder Fury yet. I'm sorry. His lane is them dudes right in front of him. Whoever's in front of him, whatever position he's in, he need to look right above them floors. But that penthouse and that top floor and the one right underneath the top floor, no. Not yet. He's young. I don't even know why he's rushing it. I'm going to look him up and see his age. And he's probably not rushing it. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get on Fox. You're supposed to say the right name because you got primetime exposure. But I would have liked to see more consistency. I would have liked to see a knockout of Martin and a knockout of Washington. On the betting line, he wasn't that big of a favorite to get the knockout. They weren't sure. you know? So he is 29. And again, we're talking heavyweight years. This is young. This is young.
Yeah, he's a young 29. You know what I mean? Like, he's a guy who still has time.
Kid, you know what I mean?
No, you're absolutely right. But I would prefer him to get that time. But, look, a lot of people dare to be great. And there's nothing wrong with daring to be great until the next day when, you say to yourself, well, because there's a bunch of never knows. I never know what it would have been like if I would have, had this fight, or if I would have taken this time, or I had to develop this a little more. You want your best version of yourself to go in there. And I'll put it this way. I still believe that Adam's got potential to grow. I don't think that he's at his peak best. And so I would rather see that.
Listen,
exactly.
He could take a Joseph Parker fight who on box records underneath him. Luis Ortiz, Pulev will be a hard fight because of his new relationship with Top Rank. Jarell Miller is a fake hard fight because they boys. Alexander Povetkin might be a hard fight because he's still working with Eddie, but if that's available, Povetkin and Dillian White.
That's not a bad one.
We got a super chat from
Dominic Brazil.
From Young Prophet 1. Kownacki versus Ortiz on Wilder versus Free 2.
Absolutely. And
I like the experience he gets from Parker a little better, but that's a great fight though, Ortiz.
And if Heyman, whenever he's doing his jogs, since he likes to listen to the show so much, can make it to this portion, because of his relationships with Yvonne Michelle and Elder Alvarez and Adonis Stevenson, I would like to see Heyman make a little Oscar Rivas offer. Get Oscar Rivas over here.
That's nice. Hey, that's nice right there. But we don't know if Top Rank got that. You know how Top Rank do.
We don't
know how Top Rank do.
Top Rank got him locked in, but like you said, we don't know, and that's why a Kownacki Rivas fight is Rivas is made for Kownacki to crack him wide open.
And both guys are like hungry too. Like I've seen in the Brian Jennings fight.
Sure, his arm's too short for Kownacki.
Hey, it might be, but I think both guys are really hungry too, man. Because I've seen Rivas fight. Like I sit there and watch that whole fight. The guy just kept on applying pressure. So,
yeah, but he ain't as accurate as Kownacki.
But he's not as accurate, and he's not as active either. But his punches do when they come.
Because he wasn't getting hit. When you get hit by Kownacki, you see what Jarell did.
No. Jennings was working that jab. Now he had a nice jab that
Belly could throw punch. He came out in the second round. He said, "Fuck that! I ain't gonna let this white boy beat me." He's trying to stand his ground. Kownacki ran his ass over. Hey yo, and Jarell looked good. Body great. Outfit.
He always does though.
He looked amazing.
That outfit was on fire, and none of that shit ain't working.
I saw him after the weigh-in, and I thought to myself, because I didn't get to see the weigh-in until like Friday night, and I was like, man, I would love to run that show back on Thursday and maybe decide to pick him. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad I didn't go with him. I'm glad I don't have to eat that crow, but I really expected a lot more.
I'm glad.
Okay.
I was gonna say if we could move on because Ron laughed at me when I said this next guy would go the distance.
Hold on,
with
real
the
quick.
other guy.
Before you come and laugh at me because you ate crow and I'm not gonna eat crow in the next one. Adam Kownacki had the Barclays red and white out. That boy sells, man, in the Barclays.
This was what you text.
You know what? This fight only had 9,000 people, but that's still a testament.
It probably had 6,000 Polish people.
6,000 from red and white, man. That boy was rocking when he was on there.
That is not a bad number at all. Yeah.
No, that's not.
Nah, look, I'm just saying 9,000 Keith with Lopez. I know he had a good undercard. I know that, but looking good. The crowd was booing Wilder. The crowd did boo Wilder, and we have to talk about that fight as well. Deontay Wilder's brother, which we don't have any footage of, made his.
I thought he would be last though.
I saw it. I actually saw it.
I mean, listen. I wanted to. I mean, don't act like you're not seeing the chat. That's what everybody's here for.
I mean, come on.
I saw it.
There's even a William Dietz YouTube account now that's in our chat.
No.
What?
Absolutely.
Hey,
Listen, but this is listen, guys. You have to understand, you have to embrace it. We've officially made it. There's some psycho goes out, makes a fake William Dietz, Deontay Wilder's brother opponent account, comes back, gets in the chat, and chats like him because he knows that we're gonna see it. Like, dude, like, I mean, you know how much my girl would love me if I did thoughtful shit like that?
What are the odds that it's actually him?
Hey, but
Zero
but I did see the fight though. You know, I have a little story.
You barely seen the fight.
I barely seen it though.
Around.
I can't. All right, so I'll just tell my story because like everyone's saying like there's no footage of it. Well, Ness is hiding the footage. Al Heyman's hiding the. They didn't hide the footage, man.
Ness hiding the footage too.
That was. Look, I'm gonna keep it real. That was not supposed to be what it was. They didn't film it. They didn't do anything because it was really supposed to be his win. Granted, his amateur background is non-existent. He went in there with his brother's last name, and you know at that point it was a 4-rounder. He was winning the fight. From what everyone's saying, I only came in there like the 2nd or 3rd round, and I literally got up my seat because I thought it went to the distance. I turned my head. I heard someone fall. I said, fuck. I missed Marcelo knocking him out. I turned around, and I saw him on his back, and I said, oh, shit. It happened. So, look, it happens to the best. It happens to the worst, and it happens to everybody who steps in the ring. Well, I wouldn't say steps in the ring, but it can happen to anyone that steps in the ring. It's boxing. People have lost a record or their debut. They lost their 5th. And they always overcome or they just go away. That's just part of the game.
I just hope he doesn't go away. I hope he tries, you know. Like I think Mike said it before, like B-Hop had that loss. And look, he don't have amateur background. He got 7 amateur fights, you know what I mean? So he's learning on
and that's the thing. It's not like boxing talent runs in the family. I mean, Wilder uses his athletic ability and his power to subside his pure boxing ability. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Look, his brother has every right to do what he wants. He's a grown-ass man. If he wants to fight, if he doesn't want to fight anymore, whatever. It doesn't do anything to Wilder's career. Like, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't make it better or worse.
Look, but I just want to comment. I did talk to his trainer and Mark Breland, and just he may not be on that UK undercard now simply because of the fact that obviously he's
you need the 2 months. You need the 3 months off the knockout.
So there's a very high chance that won't happen. So if you guys are over in the UK and expecting to see that, probably not.
But you still got to wait that time, Ness, even if you go overseas? What is it?
Consideration? Like you got stopped, and why would you want to send them right away?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's a good idea or a bad idea. What I'm asking is pure and simple. If a person wants to make that decision, could they still go? Because I know it's a commission thing.
But they might say, have you been knocked out in the last couple months?
Got it. Yeah, that's what I was asking. Is more of like, do they, you know, enforce that? Like, could you go to like Tijuana, Mexico and have a pro fight? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I really don't know. I can't answer that, to be honest.
But no. But I think you're right. I think they probably do ask.
I just hope, man.
Say again, Ness?
Anybody could go to Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's probably a bad example.
He just stays with it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, get knocked down, man. You get back up, dust yourself out, man. Shit. Get it rocking again, homie. That's all. That's what it's all about. Tevin Foreman didn't start off like the greatest career. I mean, people don't start off like.
And Tevin don't have a amateur background either. But, you know, the thing
Ness used that B-Hop example the other day.
B-Hop got out of prison. I mean, shit happened, man. If you stick with it, you don't know what can happen, man. If you dedicated to the sport and you love the sport, like you said, and like you told me, you wanted to be one of the best one day. Stay with it, bro. Like, just stay with the shit.
I'm not gonna lie.
I would definitely, you know, if I were in his shoes, because of all the opportunities, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, he lost on Thurman's undercard. Like, you know what I mean? The world knows about it. Like, he has to use this as fuel for the fire, come back stronger, you know, and do it slower. Maybe the matchmaking wasn't the best, you know. He doesn't have an amateur background.
I'll say one last thing, and I'll openly, like, I admit, maybe I should have just whipped my phone out, filmed the last minute. I fucked up.
What for? And get in trouble and get
man, you're
no, I'm not putting it out. I'm just saying, for the fact is, why this is where I'm concluding to. We over here who's watching Fox and PBC, I can never go back and watch that fight or any fight that's untelevised because they don't televise any of the fucking card minus whatever they have programmed in. And that's my problem. I should have filmed it. I should have did it because I'll never be able to see any of these fights.
Film it.
I know.
No.
Right.
He's saying
I'm just
he's
talking
saying
from
if he
my
wanted to
own-
watch it
my
because
own
he can't
personal
go back
gain.
and watch it.
I know. That's why I didn't film it.
Fox.
Yeah, like he's
It's
saying
never-
comparing it to like ESPN and the Zone, like where you can literally go back and watch the entire card.
When we
With
watch
Fox
Koshi
and
Solomon-
Showtime, you can't watch this shit, man. Like you can pull up these fights. There's no archive for these fights. You know what I'm saying?
Done.
I thought he was saying like actually recording it with his phone.
No. You can't.
He was
film
just
it.
using that analogy
Yeah.
just in case he wanted to go back and watch.
Yeah,
it,
that's
you
why I
know?
was saying I was.
No. So here's the thing:
Yeah,
you can't
mistaken.
film that stuff, anyways. You can't. So I was making a joke, but the thing is, Nikoshi Solomon, regardless of whatever people say, we saw it. We can critique it. We can speak on it, and we got to enjoy it because it's boxing, and we're boxing fans. Minus the people who was there, I was the only one to actually see it outside of people there, and unfortunately, the rest of the boxing world couldn't, and that is problematic from PBC, Al Heyman's side, all of it, by not showing us all of the fights because we are invested. As much as Marcelo's Wilder was in there with what could have been a step-up fight, he was tied to his brother name. Everyone wanted to see that fight, win or lose, and see how much attention he got. Marcelo's Wilder is a draw to a degree that PBC didn't televise them. They could have capitalized on the loss. They could have capitalized on whatever. Now, at this point, this is something they have to
I think
learn.
he didn't make the process. I think, you have so much inventory that it was more like if he gets to a certain level, they'll pay attention more, maybe.
Yep, you're right.
But I get what you're saying. I believe that they made a mistake because that's the same reason that we were invested early because we noticed what they did not. He does numbers. He does numbers. People are interested, and he has the Floyd Mayweather effect. Mayweather and Wilders with an S have that. They love to hate him.
People don't like that.
They love to hate him. There's some people that love him, but boy, are there people that want to see them lose
every time.
Dude, when you got people making accounts, that's insane.
And I'll tell you this too.
But I think that
even with that loss, you put him back on TV, people will want to see him.
Yes, absolutely. Because boxing is all about. No, don't say maybe. Boxing. First of all, Marcellus Wilder is no different than Gabriel Rosado. Gabriel Rosado had like 12 amateur fights. He can do it if given the opportunity and if he dedicates himself.
Well,
but other undercards we got to get to. Go ahead, Mom.
Real quick, all I was gonna say is, with Wilder, I don't think it's as much hate as you would think. I think what it is there's like this interest in the stature that he's got and the stature that he's built, and so I don't think it's as much hate as just like this intrigue. I thought for years he was the worst of the three heavyweights coming up between Bryant Jennings and Seth Mitchell, and he kept winning. So it was like this whole time where I just wanted to be right about him. But so I mean, I don't know, but it is a lot of hate too, though. You're right.
All right,
wait.
I knew you was gonna touch that shit.
But Seth Mitchell,
I knew it.
Bring
Seth Mitchell, listen to me. Seth
it,
Mitchell,
nigga.
Bryant Jennings, and Deontay Wilder were all three heavyweights that were coming up. They were in the prospect arena at the same time. And I thought that Seth Mitchell and Bryant Jennings were both better American prospects at the time. I was dead wrong, and I admit that. But that was the intrigue for me in the early beginning. Is like I wanted to see him lose just because I wanted to be right, but I was dead wrong.
Yeah, and look, and even Seth, and that's what I'm saying. Even Seth was allowed to rebuild. Like after he lost to Jonathan Banks, he got like 2 tune-ups maybe. And even if he only got one, he came back versus Jonathan Banks, not versus Adam Kownacki, man.
You're right.
I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but whatever.
We got a super chat from Jack is the Truth. People want to see him lose because he's always trying to fight people outside the ring.
All right.
Humility goes a long way.
All right, but that still is exactly what a person needs. People that listen, he lost, and they're still going to watch him just to say, "Oh, watch he just bum lose again." Dude, they got that it factor. They got that it factor. They need to capitalize on it. Is what they need to do.
Let's go to somebody whose it factor was missing last night. King Tug versus Claudio Marrero.
Well, I guess we overestimated.
Yes.
I
Tug
didn't see it.
and the fact that he hadn't been to Marrero's level, but
that's what I'm saying.
For me, it was hard to put Marrero anywhere. He ain't really had been nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So this was like Marrero's step up too. And you know, he ain't do that great of a job. He fought a valiant fight, you know, but it was a losing fight.
Damn good fight though. Damn good fight.
I thought it was clear that Tug won.
I thought it was a little bit. I thought 7-5 for Tug was, you know what I'm saying, like legitimate. But
7-5 is a great way to win.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's clear.
That's that Keith Thurman line.
You know, 8-4 is good. I mean, 8-4 is like great, and then 9-3 is excellent, right? Because it is a fight. I guess not. 10-2.
yeah, 10-2 is just like a ass whooping. But yeah, man, King Tug, I mean,
no, I guess not. Excellent has to be a complete shutout because Mayweather did pitch a shutout versus Canelo.
He did show some power though, because he did have Claudio like doing the little wiggly shit. I believe in round 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying?
I think 11-1 or 10-2 could be excellent too, because it's in a situation where like maybe you take an off round.
That's like saying the fucking sky's blue, Mario. 11-1 is self-explanatory. But as far as King Tug, I mean, like, hey, I don't know. It's kind of hard to get a gauge on him. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Listen, he's at 126. Gary Russell puts this dude to sleep. He's too slow.
He's too young though, man. He only got 10. Ron, how many fights he got, Ron?
Like 10?
Like 10 or 11.
Man, yeah. Let him grow, man. Let him grow.
Nah. Because Gary Russell's another one, man. Fuck that shit. Send Tug at his ass, man. We ain't got nobody else for Gary Russell.
Tug said he said, hey, if Gary's ready.
Listen, if they ask me right now, no, they don't need to put a gun in my head. Gary Russell or Leo Santa Cruz, I'm picking Gary Russell versus Tug, not Leo Santa Cruz. Leo might beat him in a boxing match that I don't want to see.
Yeah.
I know Tug gonna bring that Triple G style at him, and you know, Gary's gonna have to be the boxer, you know, throwing multiple comments. But I don't want to see Gary Russell a boxer versus Leo Santa Cruz a boxer.
That's true.
Not that I don't want to see it, because I know Leo could turn it around and be the aggressor and throw.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Do you just feel like at this point?
I think that Tug will make it a more dangerous fight for Russell, who hasn't, like, Russell had, like, come on, his last fight was probably Escandon, like 2 years.
Wait, are you saying a more fun fight, or because who you? I mean,
I want Russell.
It sounded like you said Leo has a better chance of winning that fight, but you're saying King Tug has a better chance of making it exciting.
He's
more entertaining fight.
I think that Tug makes it more entertaining than Leo.
But Leo has a better chance of winning.
You sound like a Leo fan.
I don't know.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just curious.
I don't know. I mean, Leo.
I don't really care either way.
Leo has show gears. You know, at one point we thought Leo was just this come forward, I'm gonna throw a million punches, and then
no. I'm not asking you if he beats him. What I'm saying, does he have a better chance of beating him than King Tug?
Probably because he's been.
I think so.
Because he's been on that level, and King Tug hasn't. But I think King Tug brings an element to a Gary Russell fight that I'm intrigued to see.
That's a good point.
I just want to see Gary Russell fight more than once a year. How about that? And then the fact that Leo
Cruz
has been there for the longest, I just rather see Gary Russell fight unification, because Leo Santa Cruz has fought Carl Frampton, and matter of fact, I'd rather see Leo Santa Cruz fight someone else than the person he's fighting that's being replaced. So. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Josh Warrington's the man. Josh Warrington's the man.
Let me ask Nes and Ron a question real quick. Do we want to see Claudio Marrero again? I do.
Why not?
Sure, why not? I mean, it was exciting.
It was a good fight.
Everyone liked it at the Barclays. It was a good fight. It was fun.
Now let's move on to a fight that I was personally like excited about, and the guy showed me that he had some shit that I didn't know he had. He fighting on the inside, fighting on the outside, telling the man, come to the corner. Let's get it on. Little Beehive, man, Chris Colbert, bro. He put on the show last night, bro. That may be.
Before we move there, let's just say Numbar wins that WBC final eliminator, so it puts him in line for the Gary Russell fight, and he picked up the IBO strap for whoever cares.
I mean, either or, man. He needs to get whatever fights he needs to get to the point where he needs to be, and that's where he's at. So,
go ahead, Mike, with the Chris Colbert.
Oh yeah, man. He had his pink hair last night, you know what I'm saying, supporting breast cancer awareness, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, big ups to that, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, the guy, man, he's supposed to been in there fighting a big puncher because the guy had like, I believe like 10 fights and 11 fights, 10 KOs, something like that. So he was from Chicago. I can't remember his name, but he went in there, man, and like actually threw boxing out the window for a second and turned it to a real fight, man. He showed me that he wanted to fight on the inside, that he could fight on the inside, and that his punch selection was beautiful, man. And then he could just change gears, change angles so effortlessly, bro. He's gonna go a long way, man. I'm excited to see where he.
What did he pitch a shutout, Mike?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty dominant performance. I didn't give the guy more than 1 or 2 rounds, to be honest with you. But yeah, go ahead for anybody else.
Didn't see it.
I thought that fight was extremely fun and exciting as well. B-Hop is known to have, I guess, a little bit more lackluster entertainment with overwhelmingly superior boxing skills. And it kind of goes back to that Andre Ward conversation where, sure, he's won. He's tremendous. But as a fight fan, maybe you go into the fight, maybe it's too one-sided or too much of a boxing match that you can't enjoy it like his last fight. B-Hop, he probably heard some criticism. Maybe he wanted to show a different side of him. But at that point, he made that fight fun and entertaining. That was one of the more entertaining B-Hop fights I've seen because, like Mike was saying, he was in the inside and he looked damn good in the inside. The slipping, the punching, the rolling, and kind of doing what a Mayweather Maidana did the first fight, allowing him to come in, fight that person's fight, and outdoing them, opposed to doing his style, which was Maidana Mayweather too. So at that point, Little B-Hop is a tremendous prospect. And at this point, I think only criticism that some people have said is they just want to eventually see him just get the full-on knockout. But me as a true boxing fan, I enjoyed it. I don't care if he knocks him out or not. That fight itself was very entertaining for a prospect, and I think that we need to appreciate more than just a knockout, and that's what Little B-Hop is.
I enjoy seeing somebody beat somebody up, and that's what he did last night.
Yeah, man. I'm just looking at the rankings and seeing where does he go next, man. I'm on where do you go next guy. He did what he had to do in there. He looked really good. He was the aggressor. He was the entertainer. And he put it together. The uppercut was spot on. I mean, he even switched a few times.
And while you're pausing,
I think they should get him the Rod Salka fight.
Really? Already? Well, it's not like that's a huge
How many
step up,
fights
but
he
yeah,
got?
that's
11? 10, 11?
yeah. I think he walked in with 10, didn't he?
Salka's a name that he can definitely eat up.
Then he just fought Salka though.
Now, real quick.
But here's the problem: you have that fight, then you have to keep going up. And
Salka, how many years ago, bro?
I believe last year because he had those like those Trump, them Trump shirts on.
And then real quick,
Danny didn't fight.
Danny didn't fight him last year. It was like
didn't wear them Trump shorts with Danny.
No, he didn't fight Danny.
That was like
no, he
5 years ago.
No, he was talking about the last time he fought. But everyone in the chat, his nickname is Little B-Hop. Like the reason why I'm saying B-Hop is because that's his nickname. Okay, so understand who Chris Colbert is Little B-Hop. Education.
Well, look, in America, he's top 15. American top 15. This is not in the world. In the world, he's number 96. In America, he's top 15. You know, so I think that Rod Salka, who's 18 in America and probably lower ranked in the world. Look, in the world, he's 100. So that's still 4 slots behind Chris. That's a good fight. Francisco Vargas beat him. Danny obviously beat him. One of the Canelo brothers, Ricardo Alvarez, beat him. And Doris Spivey, I don't know who he is, but I watched all the other fights that he lost. And I think that, this is a good name. If you want to grow his brand, you know, Because who was Josh Hernandez on that big ass stage? You know what I'm saying? So like, if you want your guy to get a win, let them be worthy. Like, I think it would have been more buzz. More writers would have wrote, oh, he's fighting Rod Salka, who lost to Danny Garcia, who shared the ring with this guy. And that, what?
No, I'm just thinking about this Jaime Munguia fight and what you said last night about the dude throwing the overhead and right punches. Boy, that shit was funny.
Oh, yeah.
My mind just went there. I'm sorry, man. I didn't even try to do it.
He was looking like a girl in the projects fighting, bro. That shit was ridiculous, man. I mean, look. I mean, whatever. But you see what they did there? They gave Jaime what he needed, bro. They gave him that tune-up, for him to build and keep developing. And that's what Gerald Washington needed, man. That's what Gerald Washington needed. But
I give a little B-Hop like a European dad, though, man. Let him try to spread his wings abroad. Like Al Hammond got this ITV deal. Like, put that man over there on some cards. Like, let people see him, guys. I'm telling you, man, this kid can be a star in the sport of boxing.
And he can talk good. Man.
He can talk his ass off. Like he's like so blunt with, like, he was on our show. And he's blunt as hell. So the guy can talk and he can fight. So, and he got skills. So when you can fight and box and you can talk, man, the damn sky's the limit, bro.
And he's in Counterpunch. That you can go to Netflix, watch that. The
Yes,
Creative
true.
Champions.
True.
Those guys in that whole entire Golden Gloves in New York, the winner of that eventually became the person who would face Little B-Hop, for the ones in the chat who want to stop saying just B-Hop.
And Ron, correct me if I'm wrong. That New York City Golden Glove has produced more world champions than any other like boxing tournament ever, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's probably one of the hardest ones.
Man, you know who's a good fight for him? I wonder if he's still boxing. Gavin Reese.
Damn. UK?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Lee Silva might be a good fight for him. That might be
fighting Omar Douglas, bro. Wake up! You just interviewed him. Wake up!
I think Omar gonna get the win. So I'm just saying.
Damn, Gavin Reese hasn't fought since 2014. Perfect. This is who we need. This is exactly who we need. He's boxed with Derry Matthews. He's boxed with Anthony Corolla. And he's boxed with Adrian Broner. This is perfect. Perfect cachet right here.
You said damn, Broner beat up. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, you just got to see how Lou's gonna move him next.
What's next on the docket?
Jaime Munguia and your guy Tekashi Inoue.
I don't even know what
Monster
to say. I
cousin.
don't know what to say. I think I said all that I'm going to say about this. This was a perfect fight for Jaime to keep developing. And that's what it was. He worked on some things, and I still think he needs to continue to work on those things. He did okay. This guy was a tough cookie. You couldn't crack that guy. He was strong, man. He was a strong little guy, which is weird.
Had a lot of heart.
Yeah,
Almost went down in the 11th round, but he
took a lot of punishment too. He took a lot of punishment, brother. I hope he's okay. His face looked real bad. He took a lot of punishment, but
he did land some shots on Jaime, but his shots wasn't like the kind of shots that he would like turning over on. Was like kind of flat shots that would just land him kind of with his palm sometimes.
That dude was not. I mean, that's what we talk about levels. I mean, but that was a tough fight. I would hate that fight. I said that shit yesterday. I don't like those fights, man. That dude was rough, tough, and a little ass cheater. Forearms, headbutts, slapping punches, hammer fists. Man, that dude, those type of dudes, like, it's like a driving test, Mike. If that was a driving test, he crashed on parallel parking. He ran a stop sign. You know what I'm saying? Like, that dude's license needs to be revoked. Like, I think that
it's kind of like the Allstate commercial, like when Mayhem like comes around.
I'm just saying, bro, I think that you could do more damage fighting like that, like without the actual skill and art of boxing, when you're just getting in there throwing hammer fists at a dude and rushing him and you chest bumping the dude. Like, it was like, I bet you if we do any sort of search,
he's strong as hell.
He's an MMA fighter. I bet you. If we Google it, he's an MMA fighter. He ain't no boxer. That
nigga was
the
strong.
way he was fighting made no sense, bro. He wanted to wrestle or something.
So I told you he was strong, but kind of a little slow.
Technical strongness.
I told you he was strong.
I mean, run. When I tell you he put Jaime on them ropes and Jaime wasn't going nowhere.
Hey, Munguia was boxing once because I was at the press conference at the Keith Thurman. And
What
I was
like Bruce talking about that Munguia don't got time to develop. He's a world champ. Beat it. You know how many world champs develop? Canelo, Wilder, everybody.
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
Yeah, and they can play the negotiation game, which us fans hate, but it is what it is.
Not only that, all the other belts on the other side anyway.
Yeah.
Jaime's in no man's land all alone. That's why they're trying to rush him out of this division. Actually, since we talking about him, like, I don't like that they're trying to say he needs to go to 160. What the fuck for?
Listen,
he's struggling to make weight when the boy don't even got muscles on him, bro.
I'll tell you. This is what I can report from it. Okay, I talked and Aaron. Big shout out to Aaron Cantu, man. He did his thing yesterday. It was my first time working with him. He's awesome to work with. But we both got interviews, but we also spoke with people off camera. It wasn't off record, but it was off camera. I got to speak with Sugar Ray Leonard. Actually, I did get an interview, but man, I fucked up the mic and rookie move on my first day back. But no, I turned it on. I just turned it on the default, like to spread out like a projection. So it was like loud as shit. But anyway, I got Leonard on camera. He said 160. Chris Mannix said 160. I talked to Chavez. He didn't give me an interview, but we spoke for a little bit. He said he needs to move up to 160. Let me tell you this. Everybody that was there with Golden Boy or with DAZN said he needs to move up to 160. It got to the point that me and Aaron discussed it, and there was a narrative there that they were trying to push. Definitely. It was like Golden Boy told everybody, we want this kid to move up to 160. We need all our access. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Chris Mannix is not impartial. He's definitely one of the most impartial guys in the business. I said it the wrong way, but he's definitely a great journalist, and he does not pick sides. I don't think he would lie. That said, I do believe that DAZN and Golden Boy went there to Houston last night to push the narrative that Munguia should be going to 160. Now, whether everyone there last night said it and believes it, or whether they were saying it strictly because they know something that we don't, they know what's coming down the pike. Regardless, there was a heavy narrative last night that they wanted this kid to move up to 160. It wasn't even like, hey, there's a fight there with Triple G. Hey, there's a fight there with Jermall Charlo. Hey, there's a fight there with Canelo. It wasn't like, hey, take this fight because it's lucrative, or take this fight because it's an interesting matchup. They want this kid to move up to 160. DAZN is heavily invested in the 160 division. They need more bodies. They need more fights. Look, we're going to get Canelo and Jacobs. And after that fight, there's other fights they want to make. Is it going to be Golovkin, Canelo? Is it going to be, but regardless, they need more middleweights that draw, and Munguia definitely can draw, even though it was kind of a lackluster crowd there last night. It was, it filled up a little bit, but not very much. There was actually a shit ton of people for Zocan. But I will tell you that both Aaron and I, it wasn't just me, we both got the feeling that there was a heavy narrative there. They want this kid up at 160, and I think it's going to be next, to be honest with you.
Well, that's unfortunate. Why you guys ain't talked to Munguia?
Yeah, like
why you ain't asked him? Do you feel good at 54? Are you struggling to make weight?
I mean, he did call out Andrade.
Yeah, we did talk to him, and because they only gave us a scrum, that was all they gave us. They had a press conference plan, and they pulled the plug, so we all got in there. So there were questions from other. Like everybody got their one question. And so it was like everybody's taking turns basically asking their one question. We didn't want to double up with the question, but he did say that he wants 160. He didn't say, hey, I'm done with 154. I want to move up to 160. But he basically didn't say any names that weren't in the 160. It sounds very much like they have either convinced him to move up, or he just knows that the most lucrative fights that can be made are guys with Triple G and Canelo, and he's ready to make that money. Either way, I don't like it. I think what we saw yesterday was, I always thought he had some. I think he has less power than I thought. Not to say he has no power, but he definitely has less power than I thought. This kid held in tight with him Tekashi 6'9" held in with him very much, but he was also a very difficult guy. He came in throwing those Maidana windmill rights, kind of bum rushed him. I think that Munguia played the boxer because at the end of the day he had to. It was like, this kid's too wild for me to go out there and be wild. It's like, I'm going to give him exactly what he wants, the chance to catch. But that said, he did catch. He caught Munguia time and time again. So look, this kid's going to be bigger. Munguia is huge. He really is a big kid. I mean, I had no idea until seeing him in person how big he actually is. So he's going to grow into that 160 division. The problem is, I don't think he's there. And if he is there for like borderline fights with smaller 160 guys, he'll be more developed. He will get thicker. He will grow into his body. He's still very young. He'll grow into his body. He'll become a full-fledged 160. To move him up before he's ready, I think it's a mistake.
Well, Liam Smith is with Matchroom, so there's fights for Munguia with DAZN. Patrick Teixeira is a guy that's Curtis Stevens knocked out. He's at 54. He used to be with Golden Boy. Golden Boy needs to invest. They need to promote and be promoters.
Yo, you're a good matchmaker, bro, for real.
They don't want to pay. They can go find Nathan Gallimore, who lost to Julian Williams, and use that cachet. There's many things for poor Munguia to do. They can acquire the services of Austin Trout at this point.
Golden Boy got another 154. Goes by Black Magic. I can't think of his name.
Oh yeah. I know the dude Trevane or something.
Yeah.
Trevane.
Yeah. But you see that he's not even ready. It would be unfair to him.
Yeah.
For him to all of a sudden get on DAZN and fight fucking Jaime Munguia. Like, give him some fights. Give these guys.
Trout's really interesting. I like that one.
Carlos Adames. We started talking about him because Bob Arum threw his name out. But then he put him on TV. He let us see him. Yeah, we ain't see him versus nobody, but we seen him. So at least when we see him versus someone, we know it's like, oh, okay, that guy. You know, not just out of nowhere, Trevane versus fucking Jaime Munguia. Like, bro, they're doing shit ass backwards. Maybe they ran out of budget. Maybe they paid Canelo so much and gave Matchroom so much that they didn't leave enough for Golden Boy to get fighters. Because I really don't understand. I wish you would ask the question. That didn't make any sense. I mean, even from doing a live fight chat, all I could tell Mike is like, why they keep talking about 160? They want this guy at 160. Like,
I'm telling you, that was the theme of the night. They were all, everybody from announcers to,
go to 154. They have no one.
Bro, the kid is 22 years old, man. Let this motherfucker grow up, man. I'm telling you, man. Rushing him right now can do more damage than it will do good in the long run.
So here's the contradiction, though. I mean, we always have to talk. Obviously, because of the fact that we want champions to fight champions. Gervonta Tank Davis fight other people in Lomachenko. That was the thing. Gervonta Tank Davis was a champion, right? He won his belt. Don't send him to Lomachenko.
But hold on, Ron. You say we want champions to fight champions. All his champions are on PBC side. He'll be moving up to fight champions. So it's not like he's fighting a champion in his own division. They want him to move up and start off at 160 fighting champions already.
I don't want him at 160. But at the end of the day,
Anthony Fowler's at number 21 with Matchroom and DAZN is all I'm saying. I know he only had 8 fights. Yeah. But like that, he's a year away from a title shot.
See, that's what Ness is saying is perfect, because what you're basically saying is this. If we are going to get him at 160, then have him fight the right fights. Guys that are smaller in the division.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what I took away from what you were saying.
I'm saying they can build Munguia in the 54. Look, they have the same blessing that Crawford has. We're in an island all by ourselves. So because of that, we're going to do like Hawaii. We're going to fly in our goods. And when we need a fight, we'll fly that fighter in.
I'm sorry. I thought you were saying like those guys go up to 160. So he's fighting like Trout. I thought you were saying 160.
They got a bigger blessing than Crawford, though. But they got the Mexican.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Everybody in his division, for better or worse, they are black. So they have the Mexican fighter versus the black fighter, which boxing is all the.
But you guys are missing.
Yeah, it sells very well, Mike. You're right.
Though, real quick, if he moves to 160, how do you know that he's not going to go immediately at a champion? How do you know he won't get like 10 160 fights? How do you know he won't get?
Where, or at least I am arguing that he does not belong at 160.
Me too.
Well, I'm just saying he doesn't need to go up there and fight those guys. But people are going to say Or does he struggle making 154? They're saying he's big.
But no one is saying that he's struggling. All the narrative is he's moving to 160. He should go, but they're not telling us why. Why? He hasn't said he struggled. Why? Because there's no inventory. And that's when I'm saying, well, invest, Golden Boy, invest. You know, it's like Mike just said it. They got a Mexican. Get Nathan Gallimore. Now you got a black versus a Mexican. It's easy. It's easy. Get Austin Trout. It's easy.
Is there any
Michael Soros out there? It's easy.
Is there any interviews in the chat or anything? Because everyone keeps saying he's struggling to make a 154. Unless there's an interview of him saying it and talking about it, and there's as well. Because they said on DAZN, they said he was struggling at 154. That's what they're. Oh, so I didn't see the telecast. I didn't watch it. Mario wasn't at the didn't watch the telecast. He was there. But everyone's saying in the chat on DAZN, they saying he's struggling to make 154.
He told Cantu that he had a perfectly fine weight.
Yeah,
that's what he
told you. Say that. Tell us.
KP said he came in at 152.3.
And I believe him. He's in his chat every day. And that's a damn shame. If he told you, you should be selling us. Nah, he told you.
Man, really, yeah.
Man, let's move on, man.
Wait, what?
If he told you that he wasn't struggling.
But
he didn't tell me. He told Cantu on Thursday.
Okay, but you knew that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm not reading the chat. I didn't know that they were saying
tell us
this
that he
narrative.
said that.
Tell us that.
Tell us that.
No, but I'm saying I didn't even know that was like a thing. I didn't see the telecast. I didn't know people were saying that he's struggling to make 154. No, listen, I don't know. Like, none of us know, and he could lie and he could just be, trying to save face. But if the bottom line, if he is not struggling to make 154, then yeah, he should be staying at 154. There's no other reason. This is what I'm getting from it last night. Okay. They want him up there because there's more money up there to be made. That was the narrative last night, because they didn't say, hey, let's go to I think you should go to 160 and fight this guy, or, fight this top 20, top 25 guy. No, last night they were saying he needs to go to 160. And last night they were saying Golovkin's a good fight. Canelo's going to be there. Jacobs is going to be there. Charlo was probably the name that we heard the most other than Golovkin.
Bro, they probably motherfucking throwing the carrot at Golovkin, like, no, come to the zone. We'll get you the Jaime Munguia fight. You know what I mean?
Oscar did say, like, I believe it was like last Wednesday or Thursday, that he would like the Munguia versus Jamel Charlo down in Houston with Canelo and Jamal Charlo headlining.
And here's another thing. How do you know that maybe they're going to keep on 154, but they keep saying they're going to go to 160 and bring all these names to build him up, even though maybe he doesn't go to 160? It's just a whole kind of promotion is spilled. Oh, he might go to 160. He's a big boy. Maybe Canelo. They're self-promoting.
Take advantage, bro.
It's funny you say that.
Got Eddie Gomez. I think Eddie Gomez is at 54, nice and short. They got Rashidi Ellis, don't they? But
it's
Rashidi Ellis.
Listen, it's funny that Ron said that, because listen, I'll tell you what usually happens, especially with Golden Boy. It's funny because when you get fighters in a situation like this, a lot of times, like the press conference, they're spinning this narrative. Well, he's a guy that could definitely move up and fight so-and-so. And then at the weigh-in, they'll say something like, well, he made the weight really well, so we're going to keep him here. And then after the fight, man, he fought so good. And guess he could still move down. Like, there's always these different statements that they're making every single day of a press event. But that's not what happened. That's what was so weird to me and Aaron, was that every single day, the press conference, the weigh-in, the fight, the post-fight, it was 160, 160, 160, 160 from everyone, from the top to the bottom. I talked to a guy, I wasn't even going to mention this, but I talked to somebody at Golden Boy, very low on the totem pole. Okay, this isn't like a guy in the know. And we talked because we know each other, and even he was like, yeah, well, when he goes to 160 next, like, it's like there's like the whole company knows, you know what I mean? Like, this guy knows, and I'm like, whoa, wait, he's going to 160? He goes, well, yeah, isn't he? And he's asking me like as if this is common knowledge. I'm like, listen, you work there. Like, it seems like everybody there knows that he's already a done deal at that division.
I wonder how they're gonna do it though. So what, they're just gonna have him vacate the belt?
I'm guessing.
That's
I don't
good.
think he did it. I didn't watch the Zucan over Rojas or Virgil Hunter. I mean Virgil Ortiz over.
If you just want me to run over it real quick, because I do have one thing to report from that fight. Listen, it was a great fight. It was so much better than I thought it would be. Rojas seemed to not have an answer at times. He started off fairly strong. Zocan came back, definitely outworked him, outpaced him. It looked like he wasn't hurting him at all, but for whatever reason, Rojas couldn't find these moments to exchange with him. But then Rojas definitely gained some momentum back. It was very weird because I had it 115, 113 for Rojas, but there were people that were watching on TV telling me that Zocan dominated him. So it was very weird. I think this is one of those fights where it was very different in the arena than it was on TV, because a lot of people at ringside had it very all over the place. I mean, some people had it 4 rounds for Zocan, some people had it 2 rounds for Rojas. A lot of people had it a draw, but regardless, it was definitely a great performance from Zocan, who had so many people there. He had a huge section. I'm talking about one full section was practically dedicated to him. He had more fans there than probably anybody but Munguia. You know what I mean? When he came out, compared to Rojas, it was crickets. I mean, Rojas had crickets compared to this kid. He had a huge cheering section. But obviously Zocan got the belt, or got the win. I mean, I'm sorry. He got the win. It puts him in a position where he's pretty close on the line to Leo Santa Cruz. That said, I did talk to the Rojas people. They were fairly upset. They thought they were robbed, obviously. But there was some miscommunication there at the end. They were told that the Zocan people were asking for their gloves to be tested, for the Rojas gloves to be tested, a la Margarito. They thought that he had loaded gloves. They said that they wanted it tested. The Rojas people were very concerned, very pissed off about it. They were saying that, it's dishonorable. Reportedly, I couldn't get a confirmation from anybody in the know. And the only person that was there spoke nothing but Japanese or Chinese that I could talk to about it. So nobody knew anything other than Zocan did go to the hospital. He did go to the IR. But the word around media was that they thought that he had a cracked skull, or at least part of cracked skull. That's what we were getting. And we kept hearing that. The Rojas camp said that. A few people from the Texas Commission were saying that that's what his people were saying. It sucks because that language barrier, I mean, they weren't prepared at all for that. The Japanese guy, they did have a few people. With the Chinese guy, they did not have anybody that really could give us anything. Anybody that could translate for him was gone with him. It was like 1 or maybe 2 people. So yeah, that was the big thing, is that they think he had a cracked skull. But I did talk to the Texas Commission. Well, we don't have a commission, it's like a licensing board. I talked to one of the higher ups. He said that they were not being officially tested, that the Zocan people had not put in a request for the gloves to be tested. What happens is they take the gloves because they have a certain window where they can be tested if the camps ask for it. They took everyone's gloves. What they're thinking is that the Rojas camp misunderstood that just because they were getting their gloves taken didn't mean that they were getting asked to be tested. So I did see the gloves. They looked fine to me. They weren't being tested. That said, the Rojas people made it seem as though they know that the Zocan people were going to ask for it. And, heading to a hospital for a cracked skull, he's going to the ICU, I think is what they said, or ER, my bad. That's definitely devastating. It's not good. At the same time, I don't think it necessarily draws any warning signs, but it's to their discretion. If they want to test it there, that's their absolute right.
The Virgil Ortiz.
Yikes, man, what the fuck?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a mess.
I didn't know you watched it, Ron. My bad. Go ahead.
Dog, what's the story alone? I mean,
oh yeah. No, I mean, shit. I mean, the Texas Commission always, we always got.
I'm telling you, bro. It's
commission down there, man.
It's a cesspool.
Wild West, goddamn it. But
it's a cesspool.
Did you see the Virgil Ortiz fight?
I did. He looked really good. I feel like he went to the body so well. Like, it wasn't just like he was throwing great body punches. He was picking shots when to throw those body punches. And Robert Garcia Jr., I think got him ready as best he could be, because even though in the first round the kid came out against him, Recon, I think his name, I forgot what his name was now.
Jesus Valdez.
Yeah, Valdez.
Virgil's father is the head trainer.
That's right. Virgil's father is the head trainer. My bad. Virgil's father definitely got him ready. And so, yeah, he looked really good. It looked like he knew what to expect. He got caught with a few punches, but none of them, I mean, he walked right through them. He dazzled me with his inside body work. One of the things that I saw that you might have seen from him before, but I thought he was doing it at a higher level, was finding ways to get from the outside to the inside and then working back outside. He was throwing this 1-2 with a pause to throw that 3 or a body shot. And this kid was just falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. It was like that 1-2, bah, bah. And then he took that pause, didn't necessarily step back necessarily, but then the kid would come in thinking he was done with his punches, and then he was throwing it. So it wasn't like he was throwing 1-2 and then another punch. It was a combination, but there was just this slight pause to the combination that really looked good. But he definitely did his thing. He's on his way. He said he wants 4 to 5 more fights this year, and he wants to end the year on a title shot. And definitely Cantu got that from him. Cantu did his thing, man.
Well, let's play everybody's favorite game on the TBV panel. Speculation.
What, the Texas
Dillian White got it. I mean, are we Texas Commission will be up to them, whatever.
I would take a whole other show.
I'm just saying, Mikey and Spencer fighting there. Are you?
Oh, damn, Ron.
But go on.
You make good points, man. Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Ron.
No, that's it. I mean, you said speculation. There you go. You speculate.
No,
speculate.
I don't know, but
all right, we're going what you were saying.
Yeah,
they usually keep their nose clean when they have the spotlight on them. It's these like mid-card fights. It's these smaller fighters where they sometimes get away with things. And, I have stories I could tell you where like they had people waiting to take piss tests till like right before the fight. And I could tell you crazy stuff. So, but when they got the spotlight on them, they usually try to keep their nose clean. Or cheat, or help the Mexican fighter get the advantage.
So Dillian White has an announcement this weekend, and Wembley has a announcement tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. UK time. So that's like 5 a.m. our time. So we should know relatively early what the announcement going to be.
We'll be up.
Well, why are you speculating? I thought they said it was a tour announcement for some tickets or something.
It could be. I don't.
Go ahead, speculate. Just say.
I don't know for a fact.
Because I just dropped a whole bunch of Big Baby Miller interviews where he talks about all this stuff now. It's all on the Boxing Voice.
Go ahead. What did Big Baby talk about? Inform us.
Well, you can go over to the Boxing Voice YouTube and watch it. But pretty much he talked about everything from, the Eddie Hearn, fighters not taking, promotion offers, his opinions about Steven Espinoza and his deal on why fighters move around. How people were trying to sit him down and adamant to go fight on Showtime, and that's why he bounced to somewhere else, and HBO paid more money. He talked about Deontay Wilder. Oh, so much good stuff, man. But the idea is Dillian White right now is probably out there definitely trying to up his purse. It's his way of going out there trying to maximize as much as he can to kind of dangle his keys in front of Eddie, and that's where I will send another offer. And you'll notice he's the only person they get multiple new offers, but everyone else hasn't. So, and he also mentioned that June. You keep saying June. So if anything, June, Madison Square Garden might be something we're really looking at because he said that many times in those interviews.
I'm looking at Dillian White Twitter, you know what I'm saying? It says big announcement this week. I'm just a fly on the wall. I don't know shit about nothing, you know what I'm saying? So this is just my theory. I don't know what does Dillian White get more excited about, or what is a bigger announcement than the possible AJ2 fight? Maybe signing with Al Heyman, that's definitely a big announcement.
Klitschko
could be a fight for him that could save that Wembley date and possibly push that Miller fight. And there were reports come out that Klitschko was in a negotiation with the Zone for a 3-fight deal.
You're right. So. Yeah. No, listen. I think those are probably the only two things that would give Dillian White cause to kind of make that sort of announcement, or at least hype us up like that. Anything else, I think would fall flat. I hope it's Joshua. I've always thought it would be Joshua. That said, I did talk to a lot of DAZN people last night. Off camera, they weren't really like people you'd interview. It was like more like, just people you talk to. And they were like, a lot of them just like kind of talking like it's Big Baby Miller. You know what I mean? I did get Ak and Brock on camera. They seemed to think that it was definitely Miller. So the people that we got on camera thought it was Miller. The people that we had off camera, thought it was Miller. So they all seem to think it was Miller. I hope it's Whyte though.
Well, no, I'm saying what if it's Whyte and someone we just don't expect, and then AJ actually does go coming to the US, and it's like the Wembley announcement may not be anything Anthony Joshua, and maybe it's just something with Whyte and someone we just have.
And it would be like this deflating thing.
What if it's like Usyk, Fury, Klitschko?
Oh shit!
It can't be Usyk.
Yo,
I know. I'm just throwing a whole bunch of stuff. Like, let's just think outside of the box for once. I
thought Klitschko is as best as I could do outside the box.
Yeah, man. Klitschko is the only person that really gonna move that needle for that Wembley date. I don't think
that's what I think too. I think anyone else he knows that falls flat and he looks stupid.
I mean, did go see Al. He could be bringing Brazil back to the UK for that pay-per-view he wanted to do.
Not at Wembley.
But at Sky Wembley though?
Not at Wembley.
I don't know.
Not Brazil at Wembley. It gotta be Klitschko if it's gonna be at Wembley.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. I agree.
Fury,
or what all right, what
if that's Fury, Ron?
Or I don't know.
No, go ahead.
What if
let me ask you something, bro. What did Carl Froch do before he got Wembley?
He fought George Groves.
Sometimes you just gotta try.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
That Wembley thing that they were doing was a rematch, and it was so much controversy from the first fight. Bruh, that's why they
was at Wembley. If you ain't know,
what?
So what now? No, it wasn't.
What?
They both were not at Wembley.
Let's check.
Chat, help us out. O2 Wembley. What was that at? I
thought that the second one, right?
The second one, the second one was at Wembley. I just watched it like last year, so I'm pretty fresh on it.
I can't remember.
I think like some Manchester Arena or O2 somewhere, like it wasn't at Wembley.
It's weird because I could picture both of them, and yet I don't.
Thank you, Jack. Is the truth my baby? I'm my baby, my brother.
We knew you were going with it.
No, this is 2 shows in a row with this stuff from him. But all right,
yeah.
The first one was Manchester Arena, and the next one was Wembley.
Yeah,
man.
Manchester I thought Mike was right.
62 though in Manchester. One of them had like 62,000, right? Or no?
No, Wembley had like 80,000. That was the number that was like so sacred. I don't think you can fit 62,000 in Manchester.
Is Jack telling the truth?
I don't know. Jack is the truth, so he's not supposed to be lying.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's a good name for Jack. He been going out here killing this shit. All right, man. Jack got some shit lined up next week for y'all, bro. Y'all be on the lookout. He got some big.
I know. I saw his schedule.
Yeah, it's crazy schedule.
Anything we need?
Jack.
We going up these phone lines because we.
This you and Ron G. I mean, what y'all gonna do? When y'all see Eddie?
Me and Ron got Tuesday will be in Philly for the AJ. I mean the
Evan Farmer,
Eddie Hearn. Who's he fighting? Jonah Carl, Selecki Rosado,
Katie Taylor.
We'll see. Let's see if
y'all gotta have like a game plan where it's like you like bend over to tie your shoe.
Whoa.
And then like Eddie, then like you push Eddie and he falls and y'all trap him. Or like y'all got a net, man. Or like Ron's got a net from the very top of the building, and then like Nes like corners him and y'all drop it on him.
And what about y'all just like do the old fashioned way?
Your interview is gonna be like 10 minutes and we don't get
hell Nes go over there, Bogart Coogan, like, yeah, man, I want my motherfucking match. And then Ron, you just go.
I don't gotta do nothing.
I'm just joking, but no, Eddie's gonna see Nes and know exactly like
nah, this motherfucker,
this guy here.
Yeah, he gonna like this motherfucker.
I heard you call me a geezer.
I hope, because man, sometimes them people like they don't even care about how they look when they run off. Like they just do not care. I hope. I think y'all get something though. I really do.
He is, because Eddie knows Nes. You know, Eddie don't know who I am, but he knows Nes, and when he sees Nes's tall ass walk in there, man.
Yeah, Eddie's not scared of to go to battle. You know, that's the one thing about him versus a lot of people that Nes has dealt with, or really the Boxing Voice as a whole has dealt with in the past, is a lot of times they're like their reaction to Nes is like
conversational. He
you know,
Eddie likes it.
Yeah, Eddie definitely likes it, and I think he sees Nes as a worthy adversary.
Eddie will probably go to Nes before Nes goes to Eddie.
Let's touch on these little quick notes right quick. Adonis Stevenson walks for the first time since being in his coma. His girlfriend says so. Big ups to that. Bob Arum thanks. Yeah, Bob Arum thanks Spence and Crawford right now is a big enough for a co-promotional pay-per-view. Also,
get some limelight.
Yeah. Also, Carl
like AJ right now. They desperate.
It'd be bigger if Thurman fights him and then they knock each other off.
Carl Frampton is considered going down to 122.
I think it's a good idea if he can make it.
They just see everything is happening. Everything is happening. Look, come on now. If Keith really fight Pacquiao, if Keith fight Pacquiao, Terrence might walk. He might walk. He was supposed to get that fight, and he ain't get it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only reason you don't get the fight is because you ain't pay your fighter. It's just that simple. It's just that simple because Laura got the fight. Nobody wanted Laura versus Canelo, but they made that shit happen. So don't give me that shit. But anyway.
Let's get to him.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
If you're listening right now on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. Helps with the visibility of the show.
Mastermind in DC, J Hardcore.
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
J Hardcore Boxing. You don't know shit about boxing.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. Okay.
Big ups, J Hardcore, brother. Hope you feeling better, man. Hope you feeling better.
Yo, they can't keep Superman down, baby. I was up in the spot trying to talk on the show. You know how I am, bro. But listen here, man. I really enjoyed them fights this weekend. I was looking at Keith Thurman, and I really had to assess the situation and see what I'm really seeing right now. And I am going to have to adapt some of it to ring rust. But when I had to really look back and look at Keith Thurman, man, he's a very intelligent boxer, man. He's real smart. And one thing about him, he's about winning the fight, just like Mayweather. And when you look at him fighting against Guerrero, he started out strong in the beginning, got his points, and then he coasted. When he fought Porter, same thing. When he fought Danny, same thing. People always come back on him at the end, but he done got his 7 rounds in. I mean, he's just an intelligent boxer. But I wonder, when he gets in there with someone in the likes of Pacquiao or someone in the likes of Earl Spence or someone in the likes of Terrence Crawford, that is just as intelligent as he is, what is he going to do at that particular time? Because I really didn't see the one-punch power this weekend. But as I say again, it was about being off 22 months. So there was ring rust. Riverside Rocky was coming. He was fighting like this was his last fight ever, and he had to win it. And he did an excellent job against him, but he's not an elite fighter. I mean, we talk about the top echelon. So, I got to see Keith one more time just to see exactly what he's going to look like. I like to see him against Pacquiao because I still think Pacquiao beats 85% of the top people up top, the elite people. The Kownacki fight, oh, man, the Pillsbury Doughboy does it again. I was impressed with it. I knew he was going to knock him out, and it worked out just exactly how I am. I'm going to eat crow because I wanted Marcellus to win this fight. I called it that he was going to win this fight, but he lost it. So give me my crow. Oh, y'all want to give me no crow right now? Hey, the Munguia fight. Hey, that guy Inoue, man, he's definitely going to get some more work. I'm more than sure because that dude was a tough guy. He was rough. He was tough. He had some old school Bernard Hopkins antics, and he really was doing his thing. But I really enjoyed Munguia because he shifts levels, man, and I wanted to see that out of him. And he actually showed that he can go to another level. That 160 thing, it's all about money. Oscar want to build that for a money fight. He wants him to fight Canelo. It's just like a top-ranked guy. Obviously, everybody's on cue about it because that's why everybody was saying 160, 160, 160. Oscar want to keep that in-house so he can double bill on that one. That's about all I got to say. Oh, Lil B-Hop. Oh, my goodness. He was great. I enjoyed that kid. If you get a chance, check the interview with him and Nes. The boy's quick with it. He's made for the camera. I enjoyed it. I laughed all the way through it.
Cut it.
Other than that,
Cut it. Gary in Texas.
Invoke that boomerang, J Hardcore.
Yo, what's going on, TBV?
What up, Gary, man? You called last night and you just laughing. How you feeling tonight?
Oh, yeah, that was hysterical. Mike, first, I took Gerald Washington off of your advice. So give me my crow, and I don't. Let me get my crow for Gerald Washington.
Who gave you advice for Washington?
Mike. I was gonna take Mike took Washington. I was like, I'll go. I was down that ship with you, and I took Washington with him. Virgil Ortiz looked really good, but you guys keep in mind, he's what a guy who typically fights at 126 and 130. He was knocked out by Jose Rojas on a Golden Boy live card. So keep that in mind. And Virgil Ortiz is my boy. The Dallas, Texas, I've watched him his whole career, but he was fighting a guy who fights at 126 and 130. So just keep that in mind. That was a propaganda stunt to make him look good. He was fighting a featherweight. All right, let's get to Keith Thurman. Nes, you think that guy can beat Errol Spence? Nes?
Yes!
Nes, you think that guy can beat Errol Spence?
Yes!
Hello? Okay.
He just hit you with Cowboy.
So, yeah, you're not a serious person. He almost got iced by a journeyman with 7 losses. So we don't listen to Nes anymore. You're a fanboy. That guy would be Errol Spence. That's utterly ridiculous. He probably outboxed Terrence Crawford too, right? Okay, we don't listen to Nes anymore because he's a fanboy. I think we've seen the best of Keith Thurman. I think it's basically done with. I mean, what's the line from the Bronx Tale? The saddest thing in life is wasted talent. I mean, that's what we got with Keith Thurman. I mean, this is it. I mean, this is it. He's gonna fight Pacquiao, get knocked out, and that'll be the end of Keith Thurman. That's his cash out fight. I mean,
I do my best, but my best wasn't good enough.
And the guy almost got iced by Josecito Lopez. He's the guy that Andre Berto knocked out in like 5 rounds, had no problem with. That guy almost knocked Thurman out. I mean, Thurman was lucky to get the split decision, and I think that's it. His legs are gone. He was never a defensively good fighter. He just relied on athleticism and reflexes. And you can see he slowed down just a little bit, and now he's getting caught by journeymen. I mean, you put him in the ring with any top 20 welterweight.
Cut it. Bullet on Skype.
Yo, Bullet. I can hear myself.
Bullet going once. Bullet going twice. Bullet, we ain't gonna go back to you. That wasn't nice. Yo, Malaysia, Vito, stand up.
No, I'm just listening.
Oh,
wow, no, Vito, no.
AJ talk, he got no ammunition.
No, AJ talk, he got no ammunition.
Actually, I do.
Liar.
Okay, now let me go on and say this. First of all, you said something like Wilder, they just people love to hate them and all that. I think Marcelo's a victim of his own brother's success. Like he was trying to live up to the Wilder reputation, and then he got knocked out. You know, As for Wilder getting the Wilders getting hate, like they don't have the Mayweather effect. Mayweather effect is on another level, because even the network he was on, the HBO, weren't supporting him. So that's a different case. Wilder has the backing of fans and network, and so he's not on that level at all. Now Wilder, on the other hand, turn people. He sometimes he just say things that make people turn on you. That's the effect that he has. So it's not that. But Marcelo's, too bad that he lost. I wanted him to win, but that's just he's a victim of his brother's success. That's all I've got to say.
All right, man. Thanks, Vito. Good call, brother. Appreciate you calling in.
Vito, thank you for calling in, my friend. We going out to Kaz. What up?
What up, Kaz? Damn, long time no talk.
Or Cass? Cash?
Kaz, whatever your name is, get online.
Definitely ain't Cash, but it's got to be Kaz.
How you spell it?
C-A-S-S.
Oh, Kaz.
Yeah, but he ain't answering, so we gonna go to Wale.
Oh, Wale. Oh, bang.
Yo, TBV family, what's happening?
What up?
What's good, homie?
All chilling, man. I'm all chilling. Just it's about 2:15 in the morning. I'm still working out here, man. Still grinding. But yeah, man, my boy.
What you grinding at 2 in the morning?
Yeah, man, just working hard, bro, man. You don't really want to say, right?
Waiting for that Wembley announcement.
Yeah, he waiting for that Wembley announcement.
Yeah, I'm trying to save up, yo. Well, yeah, man, my boy Keith Thurman, man. Fucking, obviously, it's only it's a comeback fight. He's been out the ring for what, near enough 2 years, if not even that. So I'm not really too hung up on the performance of one. I'm just glad to see him back in competition, and back in the mix, and back, being talked about for a fight, rather than him being sidelined and him being asked about the current guys. I'd say, to be honest,
but this is his own fault, man. This is his own fault, because he could have came back versus a Phil Greco or Samuel Vargas. You know what I mean? I remember when we talked to him, he wanted Jesse Vargas. I'm like, yo, Jesse ain't no tuna. He's like, oh, Jesse's a tune-up for me, right? So he think he's, and that's what happened.
Yeah, but to be fair as well, it's a bit of an ego thing, because you're
hell yeah.
You know what I mean? You're talking to Keith, who feels like he's the best of the best. Do you know what I mean? And he's not going to come back to fight guys that everybody else would be on his back. Oh my God, he fought an absolute bomb, absolute nobody, and he's there talking shit about Crawford, but then he comes back. Do you know what I mean? So he still wants to have some level of dignity, regarding who he comes back to. But I'd give him another 2 fights, to be honest, until I see him at least maybe go for that belt. And to be honest, this might sound disrespectful, but I see Pacquiao as a fucking tune-up, bro. I think he was smoking. That's just me. I think Pacquiao's done, man. From what I saw the other night, Broner, I don't know what he was doing. He's been given so many opportunities in life, and he's there talking about doing it for the hood, this and that. If you're not doing anything for the hood, you know where you come from, and you know these opportunities. They don't come around too often. So you grab it with both hands and you be thankful. So I don't know what he was on, but looking at that fight, he didn't pose no threats to Broner. He was just dancing around and all sorts. I think Keith needs to get that fight, maybe one more tune-up, get that fight, get his belt back, and then unify with either Terence or Spence. As for this Munguia kid, I'm kind of surprised. I was looking at his box rec. The guy's had 32 fights, only 22. That's crazy, bro. Where the fuck's he been from?
That's the misconduct, man. Canelo got it, man. He got it. Like Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. had it. I mean, like, they go down there, bro, and they fight. They fight, homie.
That's crazy, bro. I've never heard of this guy until last year.
Cut it.
JP, talk to me.
Hey, man,
Damn, JP disrespecting you and shit on your alumni status.
Long Beach in the house. Yeah.
Hey, man, thank you for that. Keith, though, I don't know. I feel like we didn't see Keith last night. We might have seen Heath Thurman. At some times we seen, I felt like we were seeing Peace Thurman because, it just wasn't the same guy. And then in the 7th round, we seen Queef Thurman. And we all knows what that means.
My God, his name.
Yeah, Queef Thurman, man. Queef Thurman. That's a good one. But I kind of agree with Nes with the notion that it's the tenacity that wasn't there. I think the thing that separated Keith from the other guys is that Keith was able to tame dudes with his explosiveness. I think you've seen Garcia and Porter, that early round explosiveness where, like the adage where Paulie Malignaggi says, even though you miss a guy, it depends how you respond to his actions, and he feel that wind go by his goddamn head. He know you responding properly. And that kind of wasn't there for Keith. Keith could not tame Josecito Lopez. He never tamed him. And the last Keith we seen versus Porter and Garcia, he was able to tame them dudes early on, even with shots he missed or shots he hit him with. You still seen Keith able to tame them just how he was able to respond. And he's never to tame Josecito Lopez. Now, I think we also know why Keith wasn't going to take Jesse Vargas in a comeback fight, because I think Jesse Vargas would have got him last night. I don't think anybody could disagree with that. But, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's ring rust and I like to also say there's a reason fighters go away from their families before fights. And, there's a reason back in the day, they wouldn't let you get pussy for a month out or something, because it makes you weak in the knees, they say. The old adage says it makes you weak in the knees. That love, I always said from the beginning when it came to Keith, that love might change him, bruh. Now, Keith then went and got some foreign, a Latin type love, man, that we don't know about. And, maybe Keith's weak in the knees, bruh.
This nigga said some foreign Latin type love, my nigga. They got all kind of magic carpet ideas and shit about Keith.
Magic carpets and all that. But Keith might be a little weak in the knees. Some greats need their vices. Mickey Mantle was a known drinker. Tiger Woods had a gang of hoes. Michael Jordan used to gamble crazily.
Yeah.
So certain people need their vices to be, who they are. And Keith is a changed man, and that love will make you weak in the knees.
Tiger Woods had a whole flock of bitches, boy. That nigga had his whole line. All right, yeah, Tiger Woods, baby. Tiger Woods. Hey, man.
And just so everyone knows, we got so much content on YouTube after the show today. We got videos from Mario, videos from Cantu, videos from Nes, videos from me. We got videos from Mike.
Hold on. Videos from Ron? Who'd you get, man? Who'd you get last night, Ron? Let the people know. Who did you interview last night?
Well, like I said, man, there's a whole bunch. I got like 5 videos of Jarell Miller talking about. Actually, I forgot to say, he said he may go down Texas and train with Errol Spence. And there's this funny video where we're both watching Keith Thurman in the 7th round, so you can see his reactions live on that, and all the stuff. We also got all the breakdowns from Mike coming over here talking about breaking news. So if there's ever breaking news, Mike is going to put out videos, so you can always just hit that little notification bell. We're trying to be extremely active on here, so you guys can comment on it. So if you like it, if you don't, we'll try to do more of it. Like I said, Cantu has videos, Mario has videos. We're gonna have more videos out this week. We're going to many places. I just came from Andre Rozier's gym Saturday, so I'll put all that stuff about Richard Coma. We did some Patreon questions, so that's the trainer Danny Jacobs. And then I got Scooter on there too. He's strength and conditioning for Danny Jacobs, Chris Algieri, Saddam Ali, Luis Clazo. You saw it?
You're swamped.
I know, and I'm putting these all up so Nes can sleep good tonight. But it's all good, man. We appreciate everyone coming by on the Boxing Voice, man. We really appreciate you guys, man. 100%.
The grind is serious, man. Ryan hit the ground running and ain't stopped yet, man. This nigga the marathon, man. If he can't do it, nobody can.
He got that hustler's mentality, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
Oh.
look, check this out, man. Let's get straight into the shit, you hear me? I'm speaking for everybody that jumped on the Keith sometime Thurman bandwagon a long time ago, bro. This dude here, bro. When I was a Keith Thurman fan, bro, he was talking about KO for life. If you can beat me, beat me. Don't duck me, son. Like, whoever wants to smoke, let's get it. You dig? Now we got this cat, brother. He about to go to the Philippines and run against Pacquiao for the Senate next year or some shit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't had a knockout in 4 years, man. You know what I'm saying? Because every time he gets somebody hurt, you still can see the power, but he's not using it. He can land whatever punch he want to land. This dude rather get on the back foot and win like Floyd. Your hands wasn't messed up, man, all them years like that, like what he talking about, man. That dude's sweet, man. I'm telling y'all, and I've been calling that out, man. You know what I'm saying? This dude, every time he gets up the Bundu, why he ain't stop Bundu, man? Come on, man. That dude beneath him, man. Lopez, people that winning that, man. Lopez was in, y'all can say what y'all want. Lopez was in front of that guy. You know what I'm saying? He was a live body. I'm not saying he wasn't a live body, but he was right there to be hit, man.
Yes, sir.
That dude took man, he ain't got the power you think he got, man. I'm telling y'all. You dig? Man, he gets stopped against Spence.
Big drama show.
Pacquiao gonna stab him. Crawford gonna beat him in a 12-round fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him nobody that he ain't got it no more, man. He ain't got him, and I've been calling it, Nes, and you know it. That dude's sweet, man.
You serious?
That dude's
You serious?
Think about it. The 12. Hold on, check me out. Hear me out. Yes. Name the last fight going into the 12th round. Keith Thurman with the aggressor and putting it on the motherfucker. That motherfucker been skating for his goddamn life for the 12th round for the past, like, what? Past 4 fights.
Say what?
Man, who watched the Bundu fight? Bundu on the back foot? Robert Guerrero? The back foot? At the end that's your champ? Man, that's my call. I'm a boomerang. That's my call, man. Y'all need to start speaking on that, man. Y'all on the panel need to step up, man. That dude is sweet, Mike. You know that dude is sweet, Mike, man. That's my call, man.
God damn, N.O. came with that eat, baby.
Muchas gracias.
That eat, baby. God, Nes over here playing sound bites, man. He ain't want to respond. He want to respond with sound bites.
Question. Hey, man, this is the thing.
This
is the thing. You know, he could say all that. But it's like I've been said, Keith is our generation's Mayweather.
Going too far now, man.
And Mayweather didn't knock everybody out. Mayweather beat everybody. He outboxed everybody. So Mayweather is something special. And that's why Keith isn't that, but he's our generation. So yeah, he gets hit a little bit more than Mayweather.
You get hit a little bit more? A little bit?
I mean, coming off of a 2-year layoff with the rust and the injuries, of course. Of course.
Go ahead, Ron G. You had something to say.
Well, nah. I was gonna say,
hey,
does Amir Khan beat Keith Thurman? Does Keith Thurman beat Amir Khan?
I don't know. Who knows?
You seen that left hook Josecito drop with? That shit will sleep Khan.
I don't know.
Man, he has spit coming out his mouth.
N.O. brought up a good point. N.O. brought up a good point. He ain't had a knockouts and win.
Yeah, that's why you give him Amir Khan.
He had Bundu hurt. He had Bundu hurt and then put the gas.
Khan, man.
Earl Spence had Bundu hurt and got him up out of there.
Back to these callers. We going.
Got him up out of there. I see why he don't want Earl no more.
R&V, talk to me.
You better take Pacquiao. Oh, man, R&V. That nigga feeling hurt last night.
Hold
that nigga, hey, nigga, that 7th round, you were like, Keith.
I haven't been listening to the show because I was actually in a meeting. And something in my spirit say, listen to the boxing voice because they talking that bullshit. Now look, he may be my brother and stuff, but come on now. Y'all want a fighter to say one way the whole time, never be well-rounded and all that. He always said he was an intelligent fighter. So just because a person uses intelligence and don't want to get clipped at the end of a 12 rounds, so what y'all call Floyd a pussy the whole time on the 12th round? No, because he's a boxer. He understand I want to fight. Why put myself out there? But look, let me tell you something. I like this because when I fought Deontay Wilder and he knocking people out, nobody wants to step in the ring with him. So I like this bravado. Now people feel like they gonna beat him
And when they get in the ring, they're going to lose. And best believe you will lose. And he said the other day, and look, real talk, why people ain't believing that the man was injured. The man was injured, he was injured. And the reason why he about to go to the Philippines because his woman can't come to the United States, dumb. Know your facts before you say the man is about to go over there and run for Senate. He is not in the United States because his wife can't come here for legal reasons. So, my man, y'all need to stop talking about Keith like he a hoe. But when you step in the ring, you gonna get clipped. You will be clipped.
All right, man. We're gonna see, man. I'm telling you last night, man. If Keith coming in with that same performance you came in the last night with, man, it's gonna be a long ride back to the top, homie. Gonna be a slow ride too, because these niggas gonna knock him out.
Boxing fans jump onto this performance and try to call it, like this doesn't mean nothing.
I'm not jumping onto this performance at all. I'm just saying what I've always said since the beginning. Earl Spence will be Keith Thurman. Terrence Crawford will be Keith Thurman.
It was a tune-up, and that's all it is. We going to Jason. Talk to me.
For a guy, nigga got tuned up. Shit, he wasn't tuning nobody up last night.
Yo, what's up, man? It's Jay Will, bro.
Man,
what up, Jay Will, man? Nigga, I always get your damn name wrong, man. What's going on, homie?
It's two of them, man.
I got the list fist, man. It ain't gonna never be that no more.
That's Skype. That's totally different from the other list, bro. You can't make no list.
What up, Jay Will, man? Start the main clock over. Get his name right first, then start his clock.
Ask him do his screen name. Say Jay Will.
Nigga, screen name probably say some shit all with it nilly.
Hey, man, giving him 30 seconds back because of you.
All right, man. So yeah, real quick, Russ. Ness, I'm at your neck, man. Real quick, man. You said
gonna play sound bites the whole time.
I ain't worried about that, man. You saying he's this generation's Mayweather, man. You sound fucking crazy.
Call me what you like. He undefeated, only dude to unify, man.
First off, Mayweather, he didn't look to keep fighting the bums of the welterweight division. Mayweather hit you, he would hit you with a Canelo.
Man, you disrespecting him right now.
That dude get his call off, man. Damn, it's the voice of the people.
Twice.
Nobody wanted Maidana. Don't act like you ain't forget. Fuck out of here. I'm old enough to know nobody wanted Maidana.
It's the voice of the people, man.
Fuck wrong with yo. He think he dealing with a casual.
Hey, they did do a poll and Khan won that poll too. To be
man,
fair,
y'all just walking all over my guy. Can't my guy Jay Will get his call right? Y'all can't get the goddamn name right. Let him get his call right.
When you say that and make a poll and you lose the poll,
we
and
got all night to rebuttal him. Let him get his points off.
Oh, now Mike want to be a cutoff protector. All right, go ahead, talk.
All right, but
so talk what? 45 seconds? Y'all
Mike,
got every 2 minutes.
No one's talking.
Shit, start his clock back over, man. I want to hear what he got to say.
Oh my God, Mikey was about to talk and you just cut him off.
So, anyways, when Mayweather came back from his 2-year break, he was fighting somebody named like Marquez, somebody that was on the pound for pound list.
2 divisions underneath him.
God damn, can my nigga get his call, man? You don't want my nigga to shine? Can he shine for a little bit? He trying to shine for 3 minutes. He can't shine for goddamn 5 seconds.
Then you want to compare to Mayweather. Mayweather got rocked in fights, but he didn't look like he was about to lose damn near every other fight. I mean, every time Keith Thurman gets hit or gets hurt, it looks like he's damn near about to be fucking stopped.
Take him out then. Why y'all ain't take him out then?
What you mean why I ain't take him out?
Whoever supposed, if he looking like he about to get stopped, stop him then.
So just like Jay Hardcore said earlier, I say all that to say this. Just like Jay Hardcore said earlier, Keith Thurman is a very smart person, very smart fighter. He's very self-aware. Just like we seen him get hurt against Soto Carras, Sean Porter, and everybody else. He's seen that shit too. So there's a reason why he's not trying to fight Earl. And I say that to say this. I think all as fans, we kind of tired of nobody really stepping up to fight Earl. And it's really sad that he has to be in a lose-lose situation.
Don't Earl got to fight. Don't Earl got to fight. Stop being a cheerleader.
Against Mikey Garcia.
I ain't fighting Ness with shitting on. Man, get out of here, Ness, nigga.
Cheerleader. Earl got to fight.
A lose-lose situation against Mikey Garcia.
Earl got to fight. Go buy that pay-per-view in advance to support.
Man, show your face, man. Show the people you ain't laughing right now when you talking about Earl Spence and Mikey Garcia.
Go buy that fucking pay-per-view and support Earl. Y'all think he the king. Make sure he get 1 million pay-per-view buys so Keith can't duck. So Crawford can't duck. Buy that pay-per-view. Buy it. All that Earl Spence talk, motherfuckers ain't supporting.
Let's
see it. Let's see it. Over 225,000. Let's see it. Let's
go.
Support your man. You want to see a fight? You want to see a fight, Keith? Support your man.
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the streets to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
No, give me just a second. Somebody texting me.
Yo, so that's how you gonna drop that ball, Stainless?
Yeah, I had to, man. I don't know what it is, man. As soon as I get on the line, all of a sudden somebody texts me every time. And I'm at work, you know what I'm saying? So I'm multitasking and I'm on the pivot, you know what I'm saying? So I do what I gotta do. On to last night's fight. First of all, Keith Thurman, that dude's smarter than I thought he was, because he's gonna need a couple tune-ups if he's talking about fighting Crawford or Errol, because he didn't look that great last night. He looked good, don't get me wrong. You know, for a man that was off for damn near 2 years, he looked exceptionally well, but he got a long road to go if he talking about fighting Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford again. Right now, the Keith Thurman I saw last night couldn't beat Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy to see him back. You know what I'm saying? He got tested a little too, so I was happy to see that as well. The Jaime Munguia fight, that shit. Man, I was listening to y'all do the commentary on that motherfucker too, man. You talking about hilarious. Matt, you was talking about you was sleepy, man. For some reason, my dumb ass decided to click onto the replay of that Broner Pacquiao fight, man. That shit was putting me to sleep. Then I clicked on the Munguia fight, and what's his name, Tekashi Inoue or whatever. You talking about a sloppy ass. My man had no problem with the come forward style, but you talking about a sloppy ass fight. Oh my God. And then Munguia, man, you talking about drop stock. I lost all kind of respect for that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he need to keep trying to fight some Saddam Ali's, because he talking about going up to 160, he gonna get laid flat. You know what I'm saying? That was some bullshit last night. But back to Keith, because I gotta talk about the man, you know, because he just made his return. Who you think he should fight next? Because he talking about Pacquiao, and as much as I can't stand Pacquiao, I don't think he's quite ready for that fight. You know what I'm saying? Pacquiao is a little sloppier now that he got older. I mean, he was always a little sloppy, but I still don't think that Thurman ready for that fight. So who would you suggest? If he going to get a fight with Pacquiao, who would you suggest him get ready for that fight? Or if he's still talking about trying to get ready for a Crawford or Spence, who would you suggest who would try to get ready for that fight? As I always say, please make sure that you push the thumbs up and share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. Fellas, I got to get back into work, man. Enjoy the call. I'll push one if I can get back in. Peace.
Stainless, you the man.
I want to see him against Sean Porter.
I'm going to Canna on Skype.
What's going on, fellas? So first, I'd like to say congratulations to TBV. Y'all got to 95,000. Let's try and get that 100K by the end of the year. And last night's fights, Thurman, you know, he looked okay for your layoff.
At the end of the year, goddamn, man, give it a look credit.
I mean, I was just trying to get y'all some padding room. I could say 100K like by May, like Ness last year.
Let's say about Demi Dallas trip, man. Dallas nigga March 16, baby. 100K down in motherfucking Dallas, baby.
Man, 100K by May, that shit ain't happening.
And I was in the chat trying to push that shit too. Like, oh yeah, these niggas is whacking. I like this. But yeah, Thurman looked good for his 2-year return. I think like Mike just said, actually Porter should be a good litmus test to see where he is, if he can get his belt back or not. And as far as the Munguia fight, I think he kind of got his card pulled last night. He got a little bit exposed, even though boy was wild and sloppy. He still was showing like some real defensive holes. Same thing with Thurman. He admitted it in the Posa fight that he had squared up. He said he boxed up or something like that. He was trying to step on the outside, but Lopez was lunging in and catching him like that. So hopefully he tightens those up if he's looking at that Spence seriously. And that's pretty much it as far as last night's cards go. But did y'all catch that? There was another channel out there trying to emulate y'all style a little bit.
No. What is it called?
I don't want to plug it, but they got like 400,000 followers right now. It's a pretty big one. But they
Oh, okay, yeah. I seen it. I seen it last night. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So yeah, I thought that was a little funny. You know, I was in there giving them hell. They had to read my comments because I was going a little hard. But you know, best of luck to y'all. And that was basically my call. You know, everybody like and subscribe.
All right, Cannon. Well, thanks for calling in. We're gonna keep it moving. We got Noah, Cali. Talk to me.
What's poppin', TVV?
What up?
All right, man. I've been hearing a lot of crazy shit tonight, man. Like, first and foremost, why is no one giving him credit for taking Josecito? We know that Josecito, we seen him give Canelo like a, I don't know, 35-pound weight advantage and still like go 8 rounds with the beat out of him. Like, so we know exactly what he brings to the table. Dude got hard. Dude even when Berto stopped him, he didn't really stop him. The corner stopped him. They stopped him. The ref stopped him. But he put on a beautiful performance, if you ask me, off 22 months out the ring. And that was a great performance. No, we didn't see the aggression, but at the same time, that's not what this is about, bruh. Like, a lot of people who out here running their mouth, especially one dude who got on here talking about he's sweet, he's soft. I wonder if you ever actually got in the ring, bruh. If you fight, bruh, if you fought at all, bro, you know when something wrong with you, that it matters. That's on your mind. I'm trying to see if this works still before I actually get out here and actually try. So why would I try to juice somebody knowing my elbow broke? Knowing my elbow messed up, I ain't gonna try to come in here swinging for the fences, bro. You gotta be smart. Keith got the win in a terrible situation. They were setting traps for him. I mean, that's one of the best fights I've ever seen the Riverside Rocky fight, to be honest with you, like strategically. So every time Keith went to the right, he was lunging with this right hand. It was a trap right there every single time. He would just pawn with the jab, slight left hooks. Every time he stepped to the right, bang, catching him. Beautiful plan. Beautiful plan. They was using the ropes to cut him off. Nobody's talking about this. They just talking about he's sweet. Talk to me about some tactics. Talk to me about what you've seen, not what you feel. But anyway, man, I thought it was a great performance. Munguia is still Munguia. He's getting a little better, but you know, he got from Saddam Ali on, he was fighting tomato cans over there in Tijuana, and he got thrown into the deep end, and he's surviving. He won too, so you know, congrats to him. But yeah, you know, he's still young. He got a lot to prove. If they talking about sending him to 160, God bless him, man. Oscar needs to be slapped. You know, he needs to go see Al Heyman fast before they kill him. But yeah, man, that's my call, man. I can't think about nothing else though. But yeah, man, TBV, man, I'm out.
Noah, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Troy in Baltimore. Talk to me.
That nigga's sleep. Bro, he sleep.
Majid in Florida.
Yeah, man. I think that last night, you know, Keith looked good for 22 months off, you know. He still was getting his counter shots and moving around. In the second half, you know, he got clipped or whatever, but he survived it, you know. So I think that was some good work, you know, for a return and everything. And in my opinion, his next opponent, I would like to see him go against Pacquiao and get that legend on his resume. Because if he don't now, I might fuck around and beat Pacquiao and that'd be off the board, you know. So I'm one of those that want to see that, you know. And other than that, you know, I ain't even watched none of those Dizan fights. I don't watch none of them shits. But I seen Miller, with Washington get knocked out last night. And I was going for him, you know, and that shit, he just went down, you know. So I don't remember the dude's name who beat him, but big ups to him. And I think Washington, if he want a shot at anybody else from this time, he better go challenge David Price or something, because other than that, he ain't going to get no real fight. But that's all I got.
Big up to you, Majid, man. Big up to you.
Whoa. That's a good fight right there, David.
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's a good fight. Tall guys. Both big punches, I guess. Maybe. But I think Price probably sleeps him.
Mr. Info Joe.
Truth, yo! Tell the truth! This portion of the show we call
In the Know, presented by my brother.
Yo, you know it ain't no show without Info Joe in the building. Yo, am I live?
You live, Info.
That's right, fam. Hey, man, people are critical to the motherfucker, man. I don't give a fuck if you was a barber or a basketball player, if that was your profession. If you came back after 2 years, you might fuck up your first fade, or you might fuck up your first hairline. That's why you got to get back in the groove and get your mojo. This is a fucking tune-up fight. The dude still got it, man. And motherfuckers is trashing him like, oh, he need to retire and all of this bullshit. It was a tune-up fight, man. Anybody that not doing your profession for 2 years, you're going to have some fucking ring rust. Look at Tyson Fury that came back after his long layoff. He looked like shit. His first 2 fights before he fought Wilder. Nobody ever thought he would perform at the level that he did when he fought Wilder. The motherfuckers need to get off their fucking high horse. Stop being so motherfucking critical, man. What's my motherfucking point? Shout out to Robert Garcia and Lopez, though, man. Robert Garcia is a great trainer, and I had to give it to him, man. He had Lopez on point, just like he improved on Madonna. Madonna didn't look as good as he did when he wasn't with Robert Garcia, when he had all his earlier previous fights. But when he got a hold of Madonna, man, look what he did even with Floyd. He made it competitive. And look what he did with Broner. So shout out to Keith. And a true champion, man. I hate when it's a lot of fighters that never go through adversity and we don't know how they're going to react when they get hurt. A champion is a dude who can go through adversity, come out of it like Wilder did when he did with Ortiz, when he was knocking Wilder around the whole fucking round. And Wilder came back and won. That's the heart of a champion. That's what champions do. I can't go by a guy who ain't never been hurt. We don't know how Spence may react when he gets hurt. We haven't seen him go through any adversity. We don't know what his response will be. So people need to put this shit in perspective. This is fighting. The hurt business. So cut the motherfucker some slack, man. He's been off 2 years. I would like to see him fight another tune-up fight before he fights anybody. But it was a good performance overall. Bomb combinations, good uppercuts, check left hooks. Lopez showed the heart of a lion too, man. I cannot. We skipping over him, man. He had balls. That's my call, brothers. TBV pound for pound #1.
Joe, man, thanks for calling in. We going to Dominic in Seattle.
What's going on, Dominic?
Yeah, what's good, man? What's good? Hey, I think that was a good performance. I mean, someone coming back from a 2-year layoff or 22 months, whatever. It was good. I mean, Keith Thurman's cool. I think he should get Manny Pacquiao real quick before it's too late. And when going to Gerald Washington, his loss, I was sad. You know, he's been getting beat up too much. He needs to get, some warm-ups or something. And Arum Kownacki, he needs to face Baby Miller. I feel like that would be a good fight. Even though the homeboys, I feel like Baby Miller versus Arum Kownacki would be a good fight. And to Deontay Wilder's brother lost, I think, people lose. I mean, look at Sean Porter. Sure, he lost like 2 times, and he's a champ now. So that's my call.
Good call, Dominic. Good call, man. Yeah, you're right. People do lose, man. So you gotta keep pushing, man. Keep pushing. Never know what this sport gonna have for you in the future.
Troy, Baltimore.
Yeah, man. Yeah, what's up? That was a good fight yesterday with Keith. It just was a good comeback fight. It showed he got heart, toughness, and it also showed that he has to work on his timing and balance right now. But it's his first fight back, because he said it. He couldn't get out of the way of those long arms. He just couldn't, he couldn't get the right distance and so forth. So it was a good fight. This other guy, Kownacki, whatever his name is, the one who fought Gerald Washington. He fought squared up the whole fight. I mean, he's an interesting character. He's basically the Action Bronson of the heavyweights if he keeps making noise. But I don't see anything special about him, you know. But I don't see anything special. And Mike and Mario, you two made some good points where you said that it's a good comeback fight for Keith. And Nestor, you said something about Andre Ward that wow, something about him holding and hitting or some nonsense like that. But at the end of the day, people write articles all the time, but you have a referee in the ring with you, and if the article is not written by the referee, why are you bringing it up? It's not important. Andre Ward's O is a whole lot more special than Floyd's O is, because Andre Ward has fights you could actually discuss. Floyd don't have any fights you could talk about, right?
This is stupid.
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, Nestor. Not the sound effects. I'm directly talking to you. What? I mean, you go back and talk about his last fight when he stopped. Oh boy, I'm a little bit under the weather. That's why I'm kind of forgetting everybody's name. So his last fight when he went out on top, just a lot of Carl Froch fights, just a lot of top fights that he had. But you can't go through Mayweather's. You can't go through his career like that and say, okay, this was a memorable fight, this was exciting. No, you can't, because he was boring. He was a businessman. He did his business and he left. That's it. You have a good night, man.
All right, Troy. Thanks for your call, man. Hey, Jay Hardcore won a boomerang, then RMV won a boomerang.
Get some sleep, Troy. Fuck wrong with him. Is Jay Hardcore ain't even on the line, man?
Are you not too okay? Rhythm and Violence won a boomerang then.
Talk to me, RMV.
Yeah, man. Listening to the info, Joe. I hope y'all got some information, because it's starting to be sad the way y'all boxing fans acting, y'all. I mean, what y'all, Mike? What y'all you expected for him to have no problems at all, and then you wouldn't complain? Because you acting like your man been tested. So I want to know, in your eyes, you go step back and say, you know what, Keith is not to be fucked with. What was your dream scenario that had to happen last night?
I'm just saying, the way Keith was talking when I seen him on the BBC on Fox, where he was like, how is Sean Porter the champion? How is the champion with my belt? That's my belt. He shouldn't walk around. Can I set my argument up? And
I'm sorry. I had a little mic in me.
Yeah, no, yeah, I see you got emotion. It's all good. We all have those moments. But look here, talking like that and coming out with this kind of performance, I thought this was going to be a showcase fight, and it seemed like it was not. It was farther from that than.
So you basically thought Josecito Lopez was a bum?
No, I don't think it was bum. I just thought higher of Keith Thurman. That's all.
He wasn't a bum. You don't have to explain. So if he's not a bum, what does he rank amongst hard journeymen? Probably middle, top, what?
I'm not even gonna call him that, bro. Like last night, he showed me that he was a game opponent, and maybe it's more to do with Lopez than it is to do with who Thurman was last night. I'm just of the mindset when you were talking like that, and you talking about going to get your belt back against Sean Porter. That might not be a good idea.
Also, you saying you saw last night that basically he don't have the skills to beat Sean Porter again?
Based off that performance, I would pick Sean Porter. If Keith was to fight Sean Porter next, I'm going Sean Porter.
Okay. All right, then. Keep that. Oh, and also, if Thurman, I mean not Thurman, but if Crawford has any problems, I mean one round he loses the con, you better keep that same energy.
I ain't got to keep that same energy because Ron asked Keith last night if he would wanted to fight Crawford next, and he was like, "No, I'm worried about getting my belt back and a unified with Earl Spence." So he don't want that Crawford fight. I mean, it's evident.
He don't want that smoke. Why?
I'm not saying that he don't want to smoke. I'm saying he don't want that fight right now. He want to do things on his side of the street, which I've always said, like, somebody's gonna have to.
And the good thing about him, different from your man, is that his side of the street is full of dogs.
Okay, but I mean, it's easy to like get one of those dogs over here. I mean, you heard Bob Arum say he feels like this Crawford and Spence fight is a pay-per-view co-promotion of now, so they're not trying to wait, bro. It's like not trying to stall out.
Co-promoted off of then.
Thank you.
I'm sure when Khan get done. When Crawford and Khan, I'm sure when Crawford and Khan get done with the pay-per-view and Mikey and Spence get done with theirs.
Why they had that sit down? That's all I'm saying.
Because it takes this right here for both parties to do their own, so then both parties can come to the table and better negotiate.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I want to see Crawford and Spence.
Vlad was waiting outside the ring for AJ. They already had that shit talked out. Remember, you can have it talked out.
Okay, we can have it talked out.
We could walk up in the ring and announce this motherfucking thing. We can make it real sexy for the people.
I think those numbers still got to come in though.
Oh, okay, yeah,
both sides.
I knew that wasn't what you really wanted.
No, bro. I
knew that wasn't what you really
Bob
wanted.
knows better than me.
Hardcore, man.
It's all good. We know what Keith don't want, and it's Earl Spence, the Truth, and Pound King, Terrence Crawford.
Mm-hmm. Jay, hardcore.
Yo, what up? Listen here, man. Hey, I'm on the real side right now, man. I'm fucking 50 years old, love fucking boxing and everything, and I done been through all these motherfucking videos on this goddamn podcast all around, and I ain't getting paid for shit. What I'm coming to say tonight is this. I love fucking boxing, you know what I mean? And I only like real shit, you know what I'm saying? Fuck Nes, fuck everybody. I'm about what boxing is about. And motherfucking TPV is what boxing is about. They bring us all the fucking content that we want. They don't sign. I mean, okay, yeah, we fucking love Wilder. He's the fucking USA champ. But all I'm saying is, you got these punk ass niggas that come on this motherfucking channel every motherfucking day and be like, yo, this and trolling like a motherfucker. Don't put up the motherfucking thumbs up. Don't even put the thumbs down up. Don't sign up for Patreon. Don't do shit. I mean, yo, if you's a fucking hardcore, if you just a dedicated motherfucking casual, represent for what we getting on this motherfucking channel, man. I love fucking boxing. That's why I'm a fucking hardcore, man. Y'all niggas need to start representing what we got here. We got some good shit going on right here. And if you actually participate, we get even better shit, man. Stop fucking around. Stop shoplifting. Let's make this show the motherfucking top show.
90 seconds.
And make this shit happen. Punk ass niggas, sign up. Do what you gotta do. Share the show. Hit the thumbs up. The shit is free to do. I'm out. This Jay Hardcore. Peace.
That shit was extremely hardcore. Appreciate it, Jay, man. Always
Live
appreciate
up to his whole name, boy. I'm telling you.
Jay always
Good God Almighty.
he keeps it real.
Real.
Block caller. All ones. What up?
60 seconds.
You going once?
Well, I call all ones. Out of the country caller, maybe. First time caller to TBV.
NO, you good?
Nah, man. Look, check this out, bro. Everybody keep talking about the fucking fight last night. And let me address dude first of all, you dig? I never boxed professionally before, you know what I'm saying? I put the gloves on and all this and that, but what the fuck that mean, you dig? I'm calling a spade on this motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? I mess with real people. I'm a real dude, you hear me? That's why I mess with Wilder. I mess with the Charlos. I mess with Spence. I mess with, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that's real. Anybody that keep their word. That's why I don't mess with Eddie Hearn. I don't go back on my, once I tell you something, I'm going to hold you to it, you hear me? My word is my motherfucking buying out shit. You understand? So cats like Keith Thurman, though, Keith Thurman done switched all the way up 360 on us. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, when it come down to certain fighters, you don't want to do this and that. Crawford ain't worried of a shot. All right, cool. You got a lot of dogs on your side of the street. Go ahead and get them out the way. You got your tune up, Ben. You're talking about you ain't gonna fight again till December or something. Now you'll fight Pacquiao. You might fight Porter. Man, that dude about to hold up the welterweight division, and y'all helping that shit, man. You understand? If he fight Pacquiao and get hurt, he still got that WBA, man. Let's say if he do get the WBC and get hurt against Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? He gonna hold up the division, man. Josecito Lopez, when the last time he fought? He had a layoff. I ain't heard nobody say nothing about that. He been on damn near 2 years. He coming off a layoff. Both of them rusted. You know what I'm saying? And y'all making like Josecito this dude, like he all right, like middle class fighter. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel like Josecito on the same level with Mikey Garcia? That what y'all telling me? It's like y'all putting this dude on the pedestal, man. Y'all giving him props for losing to the best. He went in there, he lost the fight, but he damn near knocked Keith Thurman out. Man, so Nick, that's how you thought that fight was gonna go? It don't matter if Josecito get you, man. He almost got knocked out, man, by this dude, man. Y'all tripping on this shoe, but I don't know what y'all see. That was a beautiful performance and all this. And y'all comparing him to Mayweather. Man, I ain't know what Keith Thurman Corrales fight at, man. Where's Gotti fight at? Where's Canelo fight? 12 to nothing. Man, these dudes, man, y'all comparing them to Mayweather. That shit disrespectful, man. Can't compare that dude to Mayweather and Pacquiao. And then, man, that dude he 30 years old, one weight class, man. I ain't never saw a superstar performance from him. He was on the stage twice with two of the big dogs. He put, man, you ain't going for the stoppage. Man, Spence went to
You don't see a performance in Keith, you blind. Alvaro, talk to me.
Yeah. Man, you on speakerphone, homie. Get off that shit.
You got
You on Bluetooth or something, man. What's up?
Sound
like you in there cooking goddamn cement walls.
He got the pork and beans. I had a can all empty and shit.
Kicking
cement
walls.
You
already know. Jarrones de plátanos.
Oh shit, chicharrón y plátano. Dímelo.
Yeah. So listen, man. Let's be serious. This dude had 2 years off. You could definitely see.
Yo, you going in and out. You got talking to your speaker. I don't know if you're talking to.
He got a walkie-talkie. I don't know what's going on.
He got a walkie-talkie.
Yo, Mike.
Yo, y'all hear me or not?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So this dude had 2 years off. People acting like this guy is nowhere near the top 5. Y'all bugging. You could definitely see the ring rust. He was jittery. He was trying to do some fancy shit, rolling off the shoulder, this and that. Nah, that's not him.
Yeah, he did try to shoulder roll.
He tried to do that plenty of times. That's why he was getting caught with the straight right. So, you know what I'm saying? He gets off that. Once he comes back, he's going to be all right. I got him all over Spence, all over Crawford. None of them could see him. I mean, you could tell the difference in the amount of ring IQ. You could see how he adapted to it after he was getting caught that straight right. And then on top of that, Kownacki, I definitely see him giving Wilder some definite problems. He's definitely a beast. Definitely somebody to look forward to.
Why the fuck you lying?
Oh, come on, man. Y'all bugging, man. Y'all bugging. Wilder with his crazy wild punches ain't doing shit. You know that. Let's be serious. But Mike, I'm still here for you, brother. If you want to do that Canelo and fucking what's that dude? I can't even remember his name. He didn't show his ass last time, so doesn't matter. Canelo and anybody. Mike, I'm always here for you, brother.
What you mean? Jamal Charlo?
Yeah, Charlo. You know, Canelo and Charlo.
Whenever that happens, man. Yeah. Take me down for that bet.
Easy work. You know that's easy work for Canelo.
We gonna see. But real quick, we got a super chat from Ohio Run Boxing. Ohio want that smoke from Thurman. Rematch.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see if Pacquiao don't duck us. You know what I'm saying?
Now y'all want that 40. Y'all want a 40-year-old Pacquiao.
I mean, we got to get him before Crawford get him.
We don't want him. We want Thurman.
Couldn't get him.
We want Thurman. We want Danny Garcia.
Couldn't get him.
We want Earl Spence.
You wanted him. You couldn't get him.
We got American.
Mm-hmm. Yo, the fact that you said that.
He's lucky.
Got American like that.
He's lucky he won fighting Amir last night, boy. Ooh,
You acting like that's a consolation prize. Listen, man.
Amir put them paws on him last night.
Great Sunday show. Unfortunately, Mike, you sure I don't got to eat no crow? I got everything right?
Yeah, I mean, let me double check right quick because you know how Nes be.
What about you got it right?
You got Tug, you got Kownacki, you got Thurman, you got Jaime. We all got everything right beside me because
besides who?
I went Kownacki, then I scratched it out, then I went for Joe Washington.
Besides who? Everybody got it right besides who?
Besides the guy right here, Mike. I mean, hey, shit
all right. Just make a show. You already know.
Did you guys win any money on those parlays?
Hell no. I lost.
King Tug with the distance, maybe.
Let's do it like this, okay? Let's be clear. I lost $30. I did bet $10 outside of my normal 20. I lost 30, but just remember, last week alone, I won 246. So
yeah,
I ain't got nothing to do with my Rosado parlay, my Rosado draw, and my Tyson Fury Wilder draw. I'm still living off last year money. Like
now, look here.
On Fridays, y'all want to get that bread.
Next week, this week, it's gonna be a lot of WBSS action going on. Regis is gonna be in action, I believe.
Next week,
I believe Regis and Josh Taylor them tournaments start on the third, right, Ron?
What are you talking about? Ain't no damn World Boxing Super Series starting.
Really?
Man, that shit ain't starting till May, man. Bro, you was on the phone with the promote. What's wrong with you?
Wait,
Indiana weed they got over there.
I even asked Lou.
Where he be getting his news from? I need Mike's info.
Yo, Mike is
where we get his news from?
My dude just said Regis is fighting Josh.
Nah, I wasn't saying that. Oh yeah, Pittsburgh View. Thank you, baby.
What?
It is next weekend.
What are you talking about? Regis is not fighting next week.
Next week it ain't no press conference, Mike. Stop it.
Yo, Regis is like
chilling
right now.
Was it February 3rd? Hold on. Let me look. Hold on, bro.
You don't have to look.
Y'all calling me a liar.
Mike.
London, the zone. Hold on.
Oh,
okay. Tokyo. Okay, yeah.
Oh my goodness. This dude Mike said Regis prograde.
Mike. He said in Tokyo.
Boy, it ain't no money. Teofimo fighting. Okay, Sergey a leader in Sergey fighting this weekend. Teofimo, Oscar Valdez, Richard Coma.
Yeah, I was with Richard Coma Saturday.
Sergey Garcia, Ted Cheeseman. Okay.
Bro, Bruce, man, you should know better. He talking about is on 5 down, dog. All the bets is on, man. Tyson Fury versus Wilder 2 is on fucking FanDuel. That don't mean it's
Mayweather Khabib is on betting sites.
But you learn something every day on TBV. I'm your host, Mr. Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NesGTO. Catch us tomorrow morning for the Monday 9 a.m. morning show every Monday through Friday. And don't forget that we have 5 podcasts that you don't get to catch right here, only on Patreon, Untitled on Patreon. The post is out, so don't forget to put your topics and questions in the Patreon Untitled post. We will be doing Untitled tomorrow. Tuesday's Film Study Tuesday. We went back and did Buster Douglas.
Foreman and Holyfield.
I always say the wrong fight, but I want to do another old fight after watching that.
I got you.
That shit was a fucking bomb burner.
Yeah, that shit was entertaining.
Yeah, it was entertaining. Like, we need
Jarell Foreman got a damn chin, bro.
I got some fights, man.
That boy was hitting that man with some Evander was hitting that man with some stuff out of the damn Exorcist.
Yo, check it out. Like, you go to Patreon, like you force Nes to watch old fights. He says he doesn't want to go back, but if you go to Patreon.
Recommending no fight, Troy. We're gonna put out the Patreon film study post. And let's see some motion. Not in black and white though, man. Don't play us out like that, B. You might want no black and white shit.
Nah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, follow me on IG at Gross1911 or on Twitter at Gross2312. Keep Thurman, you know what I'm saying? Let's see where it goes from here. Huh?
Boy is back.
Okay. Well, he's back. Okay. Yeah, he's back fighting again. So that's always good. Jaime Munguia. Yep. Good performance against a guy that was tough to look good against. So I'm excited. Hopefully you stay at 154. Kownacki, man, keep on doing what you're doing, taking out these guys that
Hey Ron.
What up?
I had to hit Mike with his own medicine and cut him off. But yo, you know what I seen the other day by accident?
What?
Ray Leonard and Hagler build up. Bruh, Hagler sound like Wilder. We need to do a film study on that.
Oh yeah,
Hagler sound like Wilder, and motherfucking Leonard doesn't sound like no, he don't sound like AJ, but he's mad intelligent. He's like, Hagler's just jealous. He's just jealous of me because he wants what I have. He's a great fighter and he's not getting the recognition. And he's got this little beret, this little leather beret on. Yo, Leonard's hilarious. And when that fight got made, I was gonna screenshot it and send it to y'all because it said like the text on the thing was like, I'ma just say 45 million and like 25 million. But it was not clear if that was their total purses to this date or that was their total purse for that fight. Because if it's for that fight, the motherfuckers got paid like a motherfucker.
That was a big fight, and Leonard did drag. Look, that buildup was so long.
That real build. I mean that real purse because I feel like that had to be the money they made up until then versus the money they got for that fight because it was like 160 pounds. Like how the fuck did they make 45 and 25 million?
Wait, what pound? You ain't 160. You said 160, right?
Yeah, how much did they weigh when they fought?
Yeah, 160 middleweight.
That's what I said.
I thought you said 116. My bad.
No. Speaking of 116, someone wants to know if we got a 126 pounder there for Border Wars. We need a 126 pounder. Where's Nelta at? I know you still be listening. Who else was 126? Somebody else. Oh, matter of fact, it was an old head, I think. I mean, I'm old too, so I ain't really an old head, but whatever. Whatever, man. I'm out.
Pretty much my final thoughts. You can find me at RonGFIQ. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Look, Keith Thurman is damned if you do, damned if you don't. People didn't like the tune-up, and then people saw him fight, and they either go, that was the tune-up he needed, or damn, he was supposed to blow him out. So at the end of the day, Keith Thurman will move on. We will be considered fickle boxing fans and always argue, but at this point, I appreciate everyone coming out supporting. Hit the like if you enjoy the show. And like I said, after the show, we got tons of content from Mario, me, Mike, Cantu, everyone. We got exclusive Big Baby Miller up. We got all of Keith Thurman's press conference broken up. We got Anthony Sims exclusive, Adam Kownacki, Winky Wright on here. Andre Rozier will be coming up more. And just tons and tons and tons of more stuff from here and on Patreon if you want to support us. So appreciate it.
April 6th of 1987, he fought Marvin Hagler. He had a $12 million purse. He fought Donnie LaDundee.
I can't even hear you, Mike.
So he fought Donnie
Humble rap,
LaDonda next and got $13 million and got $13 million against Tommy Hearns. And back then.
Back then.
I'm not seeing what he got for the second Hagler fight though.
Back then. Peace.
Peace out.